in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I missed. Ah, can't pick that up. It's all good. Yeah, I'll be doing a early game with Ground Slam into Sunder at level 12. Pretty sure Sunder will be one of the new Slam skills as well, but I don't know if it's worth building around that archetype when Rage and Close Combat and Bladestorm is such a good combo. Perhaps it'll be good enough. I mean, perhaps even two-handed will be good enough. But to be honest, it's just such a slow playstyle to play like two-handed Earthquake. You know, a lot of people told me like, oh, I stole your filter. Yoink, it's mine now. I'm like, hey man. Just let me know if anything's trash about it. See the keystone for Rage? Yeah, it seemed a little weird, to be honest. I don't know if I like it that much. It's kind of cool, but like everything else has a downside, so here we're gonna just pick up everything. Especially the other weapon, otherwise we'll be one-handing it. We're gonna grab Ground Slam. There's no reason to talk to Nessa unless you got like an extra Scroll of Wisdom, but grab Ground Slam. We're looking for red, red, green. There it is on a helmet. Holy shit, it's expensive, but that's okay. We got it. I could look for movement speed boots actually. That would have been kind of nice, but whatever. Looking for runner boots would have been kind of sick. Let's go ahead and just do Ground Slam. Just gonna ignore all the mobs here and just move my inventory around. Boop. Boop. Oh dear. Gonna do this, and I guess this. Like that. That's fun. Bam. Now let's get the fizz damage. We're gonna need a lot of scrolls because we need to buy a lot of stuff when we come back to town. So I need to like open these chests and like look for stuff. Really, that's what it comes down to. I need like a whetstone or like an armor scrap, just a bunch of scrolls really. Although I probably wouldn't sell the whetstone. I think I would use it on a recipe. But here's an armor scrap, perfect, and a chromatic orb, cool. Oh my. Yeah, we need at least one chance orb later on. That's kind of sweet. We're just gonna stop for this. It's close by, so gems we're gonna have to buy when we get back to town are going to be chance to bleed, and we're gonna pick up onslaught as a quest reward. We're also gonna have to buy war banner and blood and sand. And if we have the extra money for it, I'll pick up dash as well. Wisdom. All right. I kind of want to place this with that, I think. Slightly better. I think I'll be level 4 here for the Hail Rake, which is kind of neat, because being level 4 for Hail Rake... Ooh, an Iron Ring. Sick. So being level 4 for Hail Rake means that the Quicksilver Flask that we get from the quest can be freeze immunity later. See, my damage is 18. With the Iron Ring on, it's 23. So these Iron Rings are really, really strong early on. Why Marauder over Duelist? Because a lot of people are going to play some sort of Marauder, I imagine. It's one of my most popular requested classes, even though you literally just change 2 things about it, and it's perfectly fine. Are you serious, Beats? There's no way, you're trolling me, dude. I literally couldn't find Field of Towers partner for my life. You gotta be joking me, dude. I couldn't find a Field of Thieves or Towers, and I couldn't find a Shaolin Temple, even if I wanted to. I was like spamming global. Hi from Korea. Hello. I don't know how to say hello in Korean. I know how to say thank you. I don't know really any Korean. Boop, boop. So again, I'll go over what gems I'm getting. I'm gonna grab the Quicksilver, I'm gonna grab Onslaught, and I'm still gonna look for movement speed boots. And I'm gonna vendor everything else, and including that. We're gonna pick up Chance to Bleed, War Banner, Blood and Sand, and Dash. And if I find like Oh, I needed to sell that actually. Ancestral Protector, Steel Skin. We're gonna look for movement speed. Didn't find it. That's fine. Late stream? Yeah, I went to bed at like 5 p.m. and just took like a 5-hour nap. So I guess I just went to sleep for 5 hours. I didn't really mean to do it. It just kind of happened. Protector. I'm gonna change out Ruthless. I'm gonna put Ruthless on the Protector. We found the bridge, so we're just gonna place the little thing beforehand, the portal, that way we can come back to Dweller later. I'm just gonna stance for now. Whenever we find a magic pack, we're just gonna go ahead and pop our war banner. You can move these on whatever keys you like. Not gonna stop for that. Oop. Here we're gonna look for like jade hatchets and stuff, and we're gonna go all the way to lower prison. Oop. Greetings from the sovereign state of California. I don't know if that one's true. I'm just gonna move these keybinds a bit. Boop, boop, boop. Iron Hat. I mean, I've already got a red green Iron Hat, so that's not gonna happen. I got the attack speed node. I think it's better. And we'll still need some wisdoms later on, just for buying stuff we need. Hopefully, find a weapon soon. Just want to find an upgrade at like 6 or above. That would be nice. Looking again for a jade hatchet. Not joking about it. Yeah, I believe you, dude. Can't use swords because swords don't work with ground slam. One thing I did in the past is I would go from the waypoint back to town, and then I would go do the Dweller, and then I would buy like a jade amulet. But without delirium, I don't think I can do that. Basically, the reason why I want a jade amulet is so that I could go ahead and pick up enough dexterity to use dash. You can see here that I'm not nimble enough, not dexterous enough to grab dash, but I really use it. Oh, there's a jade hatchet, and it's magic as well. Kind of sick. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop. Ooh, there we go. Even though I dropped the transmute, I'm still not going to go ahead and go back, just because I found it way more consistent. Oh, it's pretty nice. I found it way more consistent if I just, my damage is what, 45? That's like 55, cool. Way better if I just go ahead and take the versatility node instead. So I've got to be level 8 for that, and then we'll grab it off Dweller. It's also later, nice for later on as well. What I think about Toxic Rain Mines as a starter, I think it's good. I personally don't like it, but I've tried it out before. It's pretty good. It's not like one of the best builds. I just don't have a whole lot of fun playing mines, so that's why you don't see a bunch of mines on my channel. Anymore, at least. Just because something's good doesn't mean that I enjoy playing it, so. Doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it and that you can't play it though. We're coming up on level 8, which is perfectly fine. A little over XP if I'm gonna be honest, but I just want to prepare when I sell. I'm gonna hold on to this. This is like something important that I do. You get an unlinked red, green, blue off Hailrick, or not Hailrick, sorry, Hillock. And it's important that I keep that because, ooh, a whetstone. It's important that I keep that because there's certain gems that will gain damage as they level up. You could opt to kill this actually on a league start. Just use the props at like 45 or something. Oh, I got a jade hatchet as well. Nice. Can I do that? Did I have to talk to Navali? I don't actually know. Yeah, probably talk to Navali. I don't really do this quest at all. I just wanted to limit test really. That's really nice. If Navali isn't in town, I'll be a little sad. Oh well, I'm not very good at talking to women, so it makes sense. Boop, boop. So I'm not gonna sell this whetstone. One of the advantages of like a caster or something else, oh, there's Navali, is that you can sell whetstones for 4 scrolls of wisdoms, and it's super sick. But wisdoms, or not 4. Whetstones are used in one of the most important vendor recipes for melee, where we sell typically a rare rustic sash with a blacksmith's whetstone and a weapon, and we'll get back a weapon with increased % physical damage. I use these when it's important to upgrade my weapons, you know, when I need like a new base type, or, you know, really I just haven't been getting any upgrades to weapons, so I have to force my own upgrades. So So again, we're gonna go versatility. This is just for consistency. It'll give us enough dexterity to use things like dash, and to have enough int to use things like Hail to Purity later on. I'm gonna switch to Blood Stance and pop my War Banner. You can see that things kind of just get melted. We got lots of boots here actually. Well, I think I need the... So we're gonna grab Added Fire. And I'm going to grab... where's Maim? There we go, grab Maim. I'm gonna go ahead and sell these 3 things. And I'll ID both boots, no movement speed. That's fine. Let's ID this as well. It's pretty good. I don't know if it's more damage than these. No, it's not. Alright. I'll just go to vent those. I'm gonna grab my book of skill. Look for movement speed really quick. Alright, we'll continue. The reason why I grab Maim is so that I can use Maim on the protector here. That'll just proc it early on. It's kind of nice. Green, green, red boots. A trial over here, and I think in this layout it's going to be faster for me to just log out after I grab the trial, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna run into that, gonna hold on to this. And I think at this point, because my weapons are kind of decent, I can just take off Chance to Bleed. Yeah, it's slightly worse. And this is a gem. Chance to Bleed is a gem that gains quite a bit of damage as it levels up. And so I still wanted to level up in my offhand. If it takes you over 40 hours, do I recommend uninstalling PoE? No, I mean, just because you're bad at something doesn't mean that you can't enjoy doing it, right? Alright, let's go ahead and grab this. This is just super specific to this layout. If you don't know where you're going, then just run around randomly, I guess. Ooh. I mean, like, there's times where, like, I'm really slow at other games, but that doesn't mean that, you know, I can't still enjoy those games. Alright, I can go ahead and sell one of these, I guess, because I do need alterations pretty heavily. Alterations are what we use to buy gems in Act 2, so because I want to sell a bunch of items later on, I'm just going to go ahead and sell one of these whetstones and keep the other one. Oh, especially if I drop a transmute. Cool. I mean, there was a period of time where it took me like 40 hours to get through the campaign, so if that's the case, then you shouldn't really beat yourself up over it. Level 10, it's cool. We'll be able to use, Leap Slam here in a minute. Very nice. Ready for there to be a bunch of new layouts on League Start? Yeah, probably. There's been a few of those in the past, or there's been races where I'm like, yo, I've literally never seen this layout before, and then it just became common, but... let's go this way. We zoom in? Oh, we're zooming. That was the last circuit run. I made too many mistakes that I didn't like it. So bosses have a little bit of damage reduction at the start of every fight. So I'm going to opt to wait to pop my ward banner, and now I can go ahead and pop it. You'll see the boss will get popped pretty quickly. Alright, I don't have enough space for anything. Just gonna pick up the currency, the rare items, go ahead and sell this stuff. I'm gonna ID things like boots, or not, I guess. Alright, and I'll just sell all this stuff. I'll go ahead and pick up a rustic sash, highest tier I can, preferably. I'm gonna grab Leap Slam. If you're using two-handed, you could use Smoke Mine. But I'll opt to not do that. Look for movement speed boots. Alright, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Probably gonna replace the Maim just for a tiny bit. So I can do this. Leap Slam feels a little clunky, but I guarantee you it's better than walking. Hopefully we can find an item with a red socket on it soon. Or an extra red socket, I should say. Are there any rewards for who gets to 100 first? There's the prestige of being rank 1 on the ladder. That's about it. Marauder feels like a slow tank and you can't bear it. That's part of the reason why some people really enjoy Marauder. I think it'll be left. So here we grab the waypoint in Ship Graveyard, and then we just run around aimlessly like I'm doing here to look for the cave. And hopefully we find the cave. I don't know if Fairgrace will be over here or not. Yo, Fairgrace, you over here? Oh, boarding X, that's super good. There he is, I found him. Alright, then I'm probably gonna just place a portal for him. Usually he's close to the waypoint, sometimes he's not. Yo, I can't find it, dude, I can't find it. Yo, where is it? Oh, we are again running around aimlessly. There's the cave, cool. So next we want to go from the cave to get the all flame for Fairgraves. You don't have to place the portal there, like I said, he's usually next to the waypoint, but in this case he's not. Guess I could just run to the right in this specific case, but I didn't really know it'd be over here. I'm gonna probably replace this one, I guess, because of the red socket requirements. Even though this extra added fire damage weapon is slightly better than the other one I've got on, which only gives me life, I need the red sockets from this item, so I can't replace it. Opinion on acro and phase acro, a leveling ranger. It depends how far out of the way it is for your tree. But overall dodge is pretty nice, especially if you don't really have any, like ES or armor. Ooh. Now we're just gonna go towards Merville's Caverns. And then after that we're gonna take that waypoint and go back to here. So normally I would take this waypoint in Merville's Caverns, and I would, oh, I guess I could have walked over there. But normally I would take this waypoint and I would go back to the ship graveyard waypoint. Fairgraves is in Uganda in respects to the waypoint, so I'm just gonna go back. Oop, you just hop over this. I kill Fairgraves. Seems good. I forgot to equip this actually. Whoops. I'm gonna go ahead and sell this. And this is about the time where I gotta start hitting the ground. Cool. Another armor scrap. I'm just gonna pick this stuff up. Do I have my loot with this public? Yep. Here we're gonna go ahead and grab Sunder. So we're just gonna Sunder Boy it up. And then I'm probably gonna buy an iron ring or just items with red sockets on them. Alright, that's a bit too expensive, I think. But yeah, let's go ahead and pick up a second iron ring. Damage is slightly better with that. And then once I'm level 12, I can use Sunder, Added Fire, and I can go ahead and use Onslaught with that as well. Oh, throw away. Unfortunately, I can't do the mirror. I can't play in Soul Self on Standard because there's a bunch of characters on my account in Soul Self on Standard. But the reason why I don't do Delirium is because I won't really be doing any Harvest on League Start, so it would be a little misleading to be like, oh yeah, just do the League mechanic, it's really good, and then play one of the most OP leagues for leveling. I think I'll do Harvest later on, and if you want to do Harvest, there should be nothing stopping you from doing so. I just personally don't want to be any slower trying to figure something out because my IQ is a little too low for that. Here I see an Essence, so I'm going to go kill the Essence. We're hoping for something like a Contempt. I'm going to pop the treasure chest, that'll just give me some extra mobs. Because a woe is completely useless for us, giving us energy shield on a piece of armor or spell damage on a weapon, I'm just going to use it on the rustic sash. That way we can use it for a physical damage recipe. Probably going to use it on a cleaver at level 16. Just because I do need a better weapon at some point. Ooh. Having 2 small mana flasks is usually good enough. Usually you can't do this fight on just 1 small mana, so it's nice to have either 2 of those or just a higher tier mana flask in general. Oh, careful. The ads are super scary, Merville's super scary. If you wanted to, you could have picked up a Sapphire Ring to make yourself a little bit safer on Merville, if you don't feel very confident in the fight. But for the most part, we're just going to pop Ward Mana, which is in second phase. Second phase is a lot scarier than first phase, so that's my logic there. Can you have my children? I don't know about that, dude. I'm still kind of like a child, so I think that'd be a little weird. Hit me up when I look older than 13, maybe. Greater Mana Flask. Ooh, a second Greater Mana Flask. Nice. So this class doesn't have to do Den. Den gives us a Quicksilver, but we're leaf slamming everywhere, so we don't have to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and ID any rare items I have. I don't have any rare items. Cool. Melee gems, like socketed melee gems, aren't that important, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sell everything there. There's a switch to swords past leveling. I switched to the swords way past leveling. So like usually when I'm like pretty far in the end game and I've got some really nice foils or something like that, I'll do that. How was my day? It was good. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any groups in old school MapleStory, so I was a little sad. So I just played solo, and I was still getting pretty insane XP per hour. And then I just took a nice 6 p.m., 5 p.m. nap somewhere around there, and here we are at 10 p.m. So made a Lunchable. Started a stream. It's been a good day. How about yourself? How old am I? Take how old I sound and how old I look, and take the average of 3 numbers. Would Den be worth getting a belt for the weapon craft? You can. You could also just get a leather belt, but I have a feeling that I'll get a leather belt soon. Chest plate. I might just take that. I'll take it off for now. Basically, I'm just taking that so that I can get a more red sockets for when I hit level 16, just in case I don't find any. Here, 14's okay, but we really want to hit like 15 in Chamber Sins 2. Almost all your guesses are too old. Some of them are way too old. We have an essence here, Hatred. It's kind of cool, I guess. Hatred will go on a piece of gear that I like, so it'll probably go on this helmet. Never mind, it will not. I could also use the Hatred on, say, an axe, upcoming base type. That works as well. The axe might not be perfect, but it'll be better than just using a white cleaver. Oop. Can't use knives or any dagger really, because that's not how Sunder works. You could do Volside areas, so I'm gonna opt to not do them. If you wanted to like farm at Zeri early on the league, you could just wait till like mid-act 4 after Mines level 2. Thoughts on Cold Dot League start? It should be pretty good. Even if it gets nerfed, I don't know, you could just try out the new brands, or you just play the generic Vortex stuff, Cold Snap. I think it's really, really good once you have the, oh, careful. I think it's really, really good once you have the Syndicate craft. But before then, it's a little jank. So, I don't personally like it. So here, we're gonna go ahead and sell items. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a Herald of Purity. Boop. And from this, I'm gonna pick up a Herald of Ash. Pretty good. So I'm almost 15, and that's fine. The next alteration I get is gonna go towards Blood Rage, but at the moment, I don't think I have enough dexterity for that, so I'm just gonna hold off. That's one of the main reasons why I don't usually pick up Blood Rage there, even though it's one of the best gems for melee. Period. Oop. Oh, this Sunder angle was pretty bad. Whoops. There's a cleaver. Just gonna go ahead and put this on attack without moving, because it feels really weird not having my skills on attack without moving. Same with Leap Slam, actually. Oh, I did it. Like, first thing. Crit Shrine. I guess that's kind of cool. And yeah, usually I don't equip a chest piece just because it slows down my movement speed by 3%. Because this is a pure strength base, it'll slow me down by 5%. But we're usually just leap slamming everywhere, right? It's the same logic as like why we don't need a second Quicksilver. We use the first Quicksilver because it's like, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna triple life loss get up, dude? I don't know. There's some streamers who do that, and I just SMH my head. You know what I'm saying? One of my goals for next league is to have fun. Same as always. Probably planning on playing Boost Assassin and then turning it into a cast on crit build. Juicing it up and doing some delve. I think fractured fossils are going to be very, very expensive. I'll be 16 soon. I can go and put both these gems in. So the Purity and the Herald of Ash. Boop. Up, up. Portal Scrolls. This will be nice later on. Oh, we got gauntlets. We got another cleaver. That's going to put this on. There we go. Turn on both auras. Again, I'm gonna stop for this. This will just be for the physical damage recipe later on. Could even just do it with the cleavers, I guess. I don't have a second whetstone, so it'll probably have to wait a while. I don't like the colors on these, I'm gonna be honest. Gonna have to drop a gem, I think. What gem will that be? Probably blood and sand. Or I could drop protector, that's also fine. Oh, we got a double. Nice. My inventory's a little scuffed at the moment. Oh, can't pick that up. I'm gonna stop for this red beast really quick. I just want more items, basically. Holy moly, dude. Getting farmed. Shooting steel mage at the moment. Jeez, but look at that XP. Oh. Hey, wait a second. Weaver should be over here. Is it not? I thought I went this way. I got a little tempted by the essence, so I think I went off the beaten path. But that's alright, we're just full clearing. Nothing wrong with that. What do I use instead? Because I'm missing red sockets now, I think. I have a red-green. Alright, finding that alteration's really, really nice, actually. So we do need a few more alts in this act. Boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna opt to use this instead. Take this sub, SK. I'm gonna use Leap Slam with that, so I'm gonna take Leap Slam. Just because it's got a red-green on it. And then I could just put this elsewhere. Boop, boop. I'm probably gonna use this instead. Damn. Hang on, I've got a little bit of socket issues at the moment. Boop, 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 boop. Should have enough space for that. I do. Alright, we're good. And go to vendor then. Heard I'm a closet weeb? I don't know who you heard that from. But it's not true. Let's go ahead and do this. It's kind of nice, I guess. We can go ahead and use Blood Rage now. I guess I did have enough dexterity for it, but it's fine. I do want to use a fizz recipe on this though. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Boop, boop, boop. I could probably pick up another whetstone. There we go. Bam, 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 bam. Hit him with the wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And we'll just continue along. Let's make sure to put on the Blood Rage. And now we're looking pretty good. Take Barbarism and the nodes after that. I really want to equip that, but again, I'm missing the sockets to do so at the moment. I could jeweler these gloves actually. These gloves are not bad, not good. Artisan Strongbox, this will just be whetstones. Hopefully I can find a cleaver with more sockets, or I could just do that instead. That works perfectly fine as well. Alright, then I can take this and that, and hopefully it doesn't accidentally sell the chrome weapon. I need to be a little careful with my mana actually. He's running away, dude. After a little bit we can pop Ward Banner. That'll be good. Alright. All matters is that really. I'm gonna log out. And go ahead and vendor the stuff I need to vendor, and I'll make another fizz recipe. Alright, good. And you see my damage will go from 299 to 400. So we just went up by like 33% damage. Cool. If Rage will become a keystone, the Berserker isn't dead now. I mean, you're still gonna probably take Berserker for War Cries, so. Missing an Aura. Missing a couple ores actually. Here we're looking for Oak. Then we're gonna continue along. Certainly could also go help Alira immediately if you want. I'm going to be 18 very soon actually. I can find Oak. There he is. It's because it was a left side Oak, I see. Whoops a daisy. So we're gonna talk to Oak and we're gonna kill him because it just doesn't give that amazing of rewards. We're gonna help Alira for the resist, for the mana regen. It's just super nice for like the first 10 hours of the game, I would say. After that you should have enough regret points or enough Orb of Regrets to respec, and at that point you should have enough resist to warrant actually respecking. Boop, boop. And here we gotta put faster attacks on our leap slam. I'm gonna go help Alira really quick. Alira will always be on the same side of the road as the waypoint, and Weaver will always be on the opposite side of the road. So that's how I was able to find Weaver quickly. Yep. There we go. I like to help her a little bit early just because the mana regen is nice. The resists don't really matter at this point though. Nothing that's like, you know, shoving their elemental damage down our throat. Talked about a new style of speedrunning? I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, I switch up some things every now and again just to do things that are slightly more optimal quite often. But here, I'm going to go ahead and probably go do my trial now, I guess. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Do I ever transmute that box? You mean like strong boxes? No I don't, because I need these transmutes for later. What I can do though is I can take this Quicksilver and I can transmute it, because it could be freeze immunity, or it could be stun immunity, both of which are pretty nice. Not stun immunity, but stun and block recovery, I should say. Alright, we can go and equip our level 18 Life Flask now. Large Life Flasks make a sound on the filter because they're impactful early on. Because they give like triple the amount of HP as like the small Life Flasks, so they make Brutus and Merville a lot easier. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that on the ground, I think. What chat am I talking to? What do you mean? It's my chat. Make it look so easy so quickly? I mean, leveling's mostly about having a checklist of items that you want to get and you want to acquire. So like I want this leather belt, and then I'm probably going to use this Hatred Essence on this leather belt. Now I've got a pretty nice belt on me as well. The thing is that there's a lot of support in this game for making leveling like, you know, making your character like decent while leveling. Topaz. Okay. You thought it was a recorded run. Oh no. Go back to Act 1, we'll go ahead and get our skill point, and this will mean we have all the skill points and that we've done all the trials. Very cool. I'll drop that. Now just continue from Wetlands and we'll go all the way to Vol Oversoul. Filters only for campaign. You can use them for early maps, but I wouldn't really recommend it. I'd recommend just like stopping after the campaign for the most part. It's just that early on there's lots of like things that you want to have, and not many people recognize, you know, what do they want. And also the Texas speeds tends to help people out as well. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Well, those are some nice boots. These boots have really nice colors on them. So I'm going to pick them up and probably use them no matter what they have, stat-wise at least. It's going to be all the way over here, probably. So fast I'm responding to messages not sent. Nah, I'm a little slow, so I'm responding to messages that are a little old. Barely slower than my Shadow Run. I mean, on my Shadow Run I'm like killing Vol Oversoul at this time, right? Which is one of the main reasons why I don't particularly like melee. But if you enjoy melee, then there's nothing stopping you from doing so, you know? Like, just because you're slower by a few minutes, it doesn't really mean anything. Is it really over here? That's weird. That is really, really weird. It shouldn't be, but yet it is. Oh, it's close. Yep. Alright, we're gonna go for the X nodes, so just the bottom side of the X nodes. Filters helped you during your last practice run? Yes, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, pretty much no matter what I'm going to use these. Seems good. Now we just have a bunch more red sockets. I can go ahead and fit Maim back in. I could probably drop Ruthless, I think. So Protector, Maim. That's avoiding X, I didn't realize that. I like those boots as well, but I don't know if that one's going to happen. Let's see. 3 red weapon, Lapis amulet. Could use a Lapis, but I don't need to. think I require a Jade Amulet from the quest in Act 3. That's what I like to have the most. Level 20, so that's pretty good. You just pretty much want to be at least level 20, killing Vol Oversoul. If you're over that, it means that you're going to have a pretty nice Act 3. I should be looking at like level 21 to 22 on Oversoul, or by the time I get to Oversoul, which means that Act 3 will be really smooth. I still be using Sunder here in 3.11. I'm not sure what else you would use. The idea for this run is that this is exactly what you would do if this was 3.11. If you were playing a Marauder. Another Ranger row of 4 links? Well, it depends on what you want to play and what you want to do. You know? You can grab this waypoint if you're scared of a crash. Usually I will on a league start. But one of the biggest reasons why I don't is just because I don't have to come back here after. I want to check that corner. I want to check this. Okay. I have a feeling I know that's not in that corner, in the bottom left. I'm gonna go check over this way. And here it is. Please connect. It doesn't connect. Alright, well, I'm in agony. I'm in a lot of pain at the moment. And we'll just walk on through, I guess. Sure, why not? What about the Summoner playthrough? Probably not gonna happen. I really hate Summoner. I just think it's the most boring thing in the world. I really do. I would rather play melee than Summoner any day of the week. So here, we're just gonna run around into the random corners. Now that we found the first stairs up, it's always gonna be the opposite corner, and it's gonna get smaller because pyramids get smaller at the top. Let's go this way. There's the stairs, and again we're gonna go from this corner to the opposite corner. You can see it's over there. This should be our last flight of stairs. I'm shocked that there's a spec that I dislike more than melee. Yep. Let's see, anything cool here? I kind of like that. Let's go and drop this Iron Ring. And this will help me out stay a little bit safer on Vol. I'll probably sell this, get rid of these. I could also get rid of this as well, I think. Just gonna take the little damage here. Level my 21, yep, alright. We're not gonna pop War Banner, like I said, bosses take less damage at the very start of the fight, so we're just gonna hold off. Oh, summoning ads again. Alright, well, I'll wait a tiny bit then, I guess. Ow. That's one of the reasons why I took Topaz Ring. When he does that, you just walk around him. Ideally, your Quicksilver Flask is up, but beggars can't be choosers. You're summoning rocks. Rocks can be pretty scary. Just try to make sure they don't fall on your head. Like they are for me. I forgot to switch to Blood Stance. Whoops. That's alright. Just go ahead and log out. Make sure you exit the character select. Boop. Let's go ahead and sell this garbage. See if this is any good. No, not really. I like the little 24 life flash, so I'm going to hold on to that most likely. Is there any gem I need here? Not that I can think of. But there's a couple gems from Act 2 that I would like. I might wait to pick those up until later though. We have a Hadra distance here. That'll be nice for a piece of gear. I don't think I have any pieces of gear that I could really use it on though. Man, Stellium's making me sad. Sometimes I just can't help myself but run straight into the mirror. I mean, I forgot my blood stance, but it wouldn't have meant that I would one-shot Vol Oversoul anyways, so. Double X in case you want to play two-hander. It's a pretty nice base type. Move some of this other stuff over. I'm gonna go ahead and sell one of these so I can get more Scrolls of Wisdoms later. You could sell some portals as well. Yeah, I'm gonna check my resists. Looking good on lightning, looking good on cold, looking good on fire. We're pretty good at this point in the act, I would say at least. 3 red armor. I could use that, but this is dual res. You see the stats on this are pretty nice, and it's also got a red-green on it naturally, so. How much slower is two-hander? I found it to be like a decent little bit slower by like Act 4. Like it was noticeably slower. But that's also just because you can't really go... I mean, you could go the Bladestorm combo. I just think that it's significantly worse. Level 25 base. I could do the craft on that. Seems good. Alright, so we got 2 crafted cleavers here. And I'm probably going to upgrade it with one of the 25 bases. Could wait a little bit longer for like 29, but I like these. I might actually just wait till 29, to be honest. Just because of the fact that having 2 crafted cleavers means that I'm pretty nice on damage at the moment. And then I'll probably use the decorative axes until I get to tomahawks or something like that. Seems good to me. I'll do this really quick. Relink gloves. I probably could have taken those and then essenced them. It would have been nice to have the extra sockets, in all honesty. In case one of my other pieces of gear is like really, really good, like I find like an amazing rare item, it would give me more options. Their slaughter's pretty big. And we're not gonna like take off our onslaught yet until a bit later. Oop. Pop war banner, slam her down. Push the blood stance. Let's get the vendor ready, I guess. We're gonna log out. We're going to grab the keys. That's alright, I guess.
Be careful.
That's not very good. I'm gonna sell this. Here I'm gonna pick up punishment. If we're going like some sort of bleed, you can go vulnerability, but we're not, so not going to.
Twitch chat.
That's all you had to say.
Thank you, Spicy, for the sweet sub. Yeah, 69, nice. Thank you, sir. Do I have a checklist besides me, or do I know what I need to do? At this point, I generally know where I can buy all the gems in the game. I know what level I get them at, I know what quest I get them from, and I know what I have to do to get those, and I know what kind of sockets I need to get it online. Since you probably don't know that, you should just keep a little checklist of what you need on League Start, and that's perfectly fine. I did that for many weeks until it finally became engraved in my memory. I think the quest text is annoying, so I just turn it off. But if you need it, then you should just leave it on. Giant life flask, these are a pretty substantial upgrade over pretty much any other life flask. So I'm obviously going to opt to use those. There'll always be 1 bust before the waypoint and 2 busts after the waypoint. Yep, put on your masks, lads. Put on your masks. Here we're looking for just the waypoint and marketplace, then we're going to do the trial. Cold res is actually pretty important in the upcoming trial, I would say. So if you want to prioritize that, you can. I could hatred these boots. I don't think I'm going to though. These boots have space for an open suffix, which means that you can craft resist on them. Now we're gonna go look for the trial.
Looking motherfucker, dude. Came in prepared.
Yo, what up, Lily? How's the Act 1 practice today? So you're practicing melee and you're like, I'm never practicing melee again. And honestly, I feel that. And then you went and I like was thinking about playing minions, and I was like, alright, psychopath, whatever. What up, though? Thank you, Lily, for the raid. How are we doing, Lily viewers? Because we are almost 24, I cannot get a 4 link, but if I was 24, I could. Melee. I don't know, dude. Like, melee's fun. I think it's one of the most fun archetypes. It's just kind of shit, to be honest. You just like wish you were a caster while leveling, and then in endgame you wish you were like a ranger instead. I don't know. I think it's a bit different for soul stuff on hardcore, but We're just learning some Berserker gameplay. Greed Axe, or Greed Essence I should say. Almost likely go on a piece of gear. I could alternatively just use it on this axe and see if I get anything good. What have I been up to lately? Practice and Maple Story, I guess. That's about it. 4 red armor. Hey, glad I could hear that one, huh? Hey, it's on a helmet too. Sick. I really want like a 3 red and 1 green armor, and I think I have the sockets to do so. Or the chromatics to do so. Boop. Can I use 2 green? No, I don't think I can. I mean, it's not like I have the links to really get it online at the moment anyways, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but this is the run. When am I playing a Maple Story? I'm playing version 62. I'm playing Fire Poison. It was kind of shit up until now, and now I'm like hard farming with Poison Mist. Here I have to be a little careful. I'm degenning from Blood Rage. I replaced my flask, so. Oop. Up. Oop. I'm gonna go ahead and click the strongbox and then jump away so that I can get my sick trick shot in the middle of the air. Mostly it's just so I don't get frozen on top of the strongbox. I wouldn't really recommend that if you're playing hardcore. Where's the last Gerboni at? I really wanted to complete that. Whatever. I didn't need it anyways. We can go ahead and pick up our life nodes now. Some pretty huge life actually since we're playing Marauder. I think this is a bit of life regen. I'm gonna let that ghost infect the unique mob. I'm just gonna walk around for a tiny bit. And you're gonna see this guy's gonna drop a bunch of rare items. There they are. Let's go and check out the helmet. Oh wait, I've got this helmet, that's right. So again, I'm going for 3 red, 1 green, 3 red, 1 green, there we go. And I'm probably gonna use the life helmet. Oh wow, we landed 2 resistances and an open suffix. Wow, that's really, really good. Probably wait till I go back to town for that one. Here, even if I find the sulfide thingamabobber early, I'm still just gonna run around like an idiot because I need as much XP as possible. I think I'm just gonna drop that, to be honest. Just use 29 X's instead. Transmute. So even though I found this, I'm still gonna run around. I'm still gonna get a little bit more XP.
Twitch chat. That's all you had to say.
I did thanks for the gifted sub. I appreciate it, dude. The random gifted sub. Since I can't find it, I'm just gonna go ahead and portal out. I kind of want to replace my links, and I can go ahead and pick up the gems from Act 2 that I need now. I'm gonna use Sunder, added fire. To use this. When I do this, that's a pretty nice ring, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. Go for these. Yep, looks good to me. I've got an extra alt, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up melee physical damage, close combat. I'm gonna pick up rage as well. Thank you for the gift sub, spicy sweet to beats. Holy shit, any gifters? He's been hit. Finally had that, dude. He's dodged every other one. I haven't played since Vulcan was added. How is it? It's pretty good for endgame juicing, but for leveling, you know, it's not really gonna change our performance in Act 2. So I'm gonna use melee fizz. Later on I use rage, so it's important that rage keeps leveling up. So I'll just drop chance to bleed now. Oop. And I'm also probably gonna use pride pretty soon. This close any good? I could see myself essencing these. They've got a red green on them. They're a nice base type, and I'm not, you know, I guess I am restricted to my current gloves. Never mind. I'm just gonna grab the Jade Amulet then, I guess, from this quest, and we should be good. Costs 1 point. Yep, you were too late to get first. That's sorry about the next stream. How's it make you feel, dude? How's it make you feel? But yeah, no, we just pretty much full clear docks, so we can get as much XP as possible. I think full clear in docks is pretty good. Like, even if it was the first thing I found in docks, I still would run around. I'm gonna let that elite get infected with the ghost, and you can see us drop way more rare items. We could just pick that up, I guess, to sell later on. Jade Amulet, but I'm gonna get a rare Jade Amulet here in just 0.5 seconds, so I'm gonna wait for that instead. I think I'll go ahead and essence this. Those are pretty nice. I don't know if it's better than that, but yeah, I'll take it. Some extra physical damage, some attack speed. Those are pretty sick, actually. I'll go ahead and use those. Here I'm gonna grab the Jade Amulet, and any amulet's gonna be better than no amulet. Just as my grandfather said. Boop, boop, boop. A little bit extra fizz, a little bit extra lightning. That's a pretty nice amulet. No life on it, obviously, but should be fine. Cool emote. Hey, thanks, dude. I just had a bunch of slots, and I was like, gee, that's about it. Boop, boop. Could pick up more chromatic items. I think I'll wait though. Boop. We're doing this so we can get things like War Chief, and so we can get a Bladestorm. It's the most important one. Bladestorm's really good with things like Rage. I need to go ahead and use... I think I'm going to stay permanently in Blood Stance from now on. I could probably just replace the link for that. You got to be a little careful on this dude. Boop, boop. We're going to move that over there or something. Yeah, I think I'm permanently going to stay in Blood Stance, so I'll just go ahead and move this over here. Then I can take this off. And then I can just throw on Punishment. There we go. Drop the Steel Skin since I haven't been able to use it. Gem Cutters. See if we can get anything cool from this Gem Cutters. We did not. So. Why is the PvE community not toxic since the game's so hard? It's just because we're a bunch of virgins that probably don't have many friends, and so, you know, anytime we can get somebody to do the things that we like, we kind of want them to stay around, right? It's always cool to share things that you're passionate about, right? So that's really what PvE is about. There's not much like gatekeeping in the way of like, you know, shitting on new players. Also, when we have more new players, we're able to get better deals, you know? Because like a new player doesn't know what to adequately price an item at, so I'm like, hey, you're pricing that item at half price? Hey, you're the one who listed it. Hey, you're the one who would accept. I'm joking, dude. I'm joking. I didn't mean it. Unless. No, but it's like super noticeable like early on in a league, where it's like day 4 of a brand new trade league and there's like literally thousands of players to trade with, versus like playing a private league, and it's like, sure, there's 1,990 players in this private league, but it still feels like I'm playing with like 10 people, you know? Oop. I think I should probably use these gloves. Yeah, basically in this zone you always want to go up the stairs. If you go down the stairs you're going the wrong way. And then I'm a little late for it, but you want to go on the side with 1 cart instead of 2. I guess the explanation now doesn't really help, huh? Yeah, probably not. What skills on R? It's called Punishment. Gives me attack speed and some extra damage on bosses. It's better than Vuln unless you're going for Bleed. I'm gonna replace this. Gonna pop Punishment on bosses. I'm gonna wait a tiny bit. Pop my War Banner. Probably once she moves, now I can go to pop War Banner. Hopefully she doesn't transform quickly. I don't think that's gonna happen. So we'll just stand behind a pillar. Oh, where's she doing? Where's she going? Look at her run. Look at her run. Alright, we're gonna grab everything. We're gonna log out. I'll go to stream today. It's good, dude. I'm playing melee. So maybe it's not that good, but check out this chest piece. It's not quite as good as my current one. I'm gonna go ahead and vendor everything else. I'm probably gonna do a recipe here, unless I don't have an essence, which it doesn't appear that I do. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a Bladestorm. I don't think I get it. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up a War Chief. Now I'm gonna go down towards the War Cries. I think I forgot Growling Cry. That's what I forgot from Act 1 earlier. Oop. Oop. Why do you want a 1v1 Cabmaster? It's a likable dude. Yeah, I've never seen Blue Piety run either. I was trying to figure out what she was doing. Oh, low is she coming? Oop. You know, I don't have any way to make this Rustic Sash rare, so I don't really want to do the Fizz recipe on this weapon. Not the end of the world, but... Oop. Honestly, if you're playing something like Melee where you're super dependent on having good weapons and stuff, you should probably just do a little bit of Harvest, so maybe you can get like a good weapon or something. I think League Mechanics are a really good way to get gear, and as casters, you don't really need great gear. As Melee, I wouldn't say that's the case. Here, we're just going to do a classic lab at 31. We're not 31 at the moment, in fact we're not even close, so we're going to go in and grab the waypoint here, and then we're going to waypoint back to the Imperial Jardins. The reason why we do this is because we'll probably be 31 by the Crystal Veins in Act 4, that's our goal at least. And then we can take that waypoint in Act 4 straight to Lab, and then once we complete Lab, it'll spit us back out at the Act 3 town, which is important because otherwise we would have to go from the Crystal Veins in Act 4 back to the Act 3 town, walk all the way from the waypoint to the stairs, and then after we complete Lab, it'll spit us back out at the Act 3 town, and then we'll have to walk from the middle of town over to the waypoint, back to the Act 4 town, so that when we log out, it'll put us back in that town, and then we can go back to Crystal Veins. So grabbing the waypoint there is just more valuable. If none of that made sense, then just copy what I do. Oop. We're 28 now, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to Bladestorm and Rage instead of Added Fire, and we're going to use Close Combat. And now I can switch freely between Sand and Blood, I think. Oop. And now we're pretty big. I'm going to look for my Protector, I think it's in my boots. So I'm going to replace Protector with War Chief. You like the video for the crafting recipe for wands for casters? Is there anything for melee or ranged? Yep. Typically I sell a rare rustic sash with a blacksmith's whetstone and a weapon, and that'll give you back one of these, an increased physical damage weapon, just like that. Can't stop for very long, but you get the idea. Can I really not jump to there? That's a little saddening. I could smoke mine that. Oh, I flame dash it too. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Oop. Is this an Act 5 run or an Act 10 run? Ideally it's an Act 10 run, and then I show you guys a map afterwards. So we're 28 by Dominus, which is pretty much exactly where we want to be. If you're 29, it's pretty cool. If you're a little bit higher, that's cool. Doesn't really matter. I have to be pretty careful on this boss. These guys can shotgun you, particularly that guy right there. It's a little nasty. I'm gonna Bladestorm from a little bit further away, so I don't get like one-shotted. Off my war banner. Alright, we're good. Cool. And yeah, we're just stacking up rage stacks. We're gonna pretty much lose all of them on Dominus. I think we lose about like 30 or so, which feels awful, and I don't know why Dominus takes so long still, but it just is what it is. Not this Dominus phase, of course, because he spawns a tiny bit of ads. I'm talking about the next phase where he turns into the big chunkster. Here we have to be careful. Check my lightning res. It's okay. It's not very good. I can't take many lightning hits, but I can take a few. Here, I just want to keep right-clicking on them to keep the rage stacks up. Go over here, proc them. And as you can see, we have like no ads, and no ads, and no ads, and it's sad, and it's no ads, and there's still no ads. And I'm still not getting any ads. And yeah, we lost about 35 stacks or so, which is a pretty huge amount of damage. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, we're just gonna twirl around him. Basically, that's it. I'm gonna grab this decorative axe, obviously. Could be way better. I should check that chest piece. It's not a fat craft with a granite flask. Don't know why you would give up a granite flask. What skill should you use for a two-handed speedrun? Probably just a slam skill. I tried out Earthquake, but it kind of sucked dick early. I don't think Bladestorm would be the best way to go. I don't know, you could probably just keep using Sunder. That's what I used yesterday and felt pretty good with two-hand, but it's just so much slower and I felt like I didn't really need the damage. Like, I'm pretty sure if you compare like 50 stacks of Rage with Bladestorm, it just turns out to be better than like Sunder, to be honest. So we're 29, that's pretty good. I want to hit 30 in Dried Lake here. If I don't get close to 30, then I might go ahead and just farm around for a bit more. Let's see, this should be a damage upgrade. I can't tell because I took off my ores and stuff. It looks like it's literally the same amount of damage, I guess. I really can't tell. It's the same. Alright. Well, if it's just the same, then I'm gonna hold on to it. Maybe I'll go ahead and drop it, actually. Let's check out these gloves. Those are alright, I guess. Lots of armor. That's about it. So I got, like, pretty much no XP here. So I'm just gonna kill around. What? Alright. Where is he going, dude? He's on the run. Spectralax, let's see what this is all about. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Like I said, I just want to run around and find some XP. These have some pretty nice sockets. I'm gonna go for those instead of the decorative instead. Let's go and drop that. Yeah, I really want like an essence or something so I can use it on this rustic sash, and then I can sell it with the whetstone and make the fizz damage recipe. That might look like a 4-link, but it's pure evasion base, and so it's never going to roll like 3 red sockets on it unless I got super lucky. I just want to be a little bit careful here. Oop. 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 Let's take an extra rustic sash, because why not? I might sell that. Alright, now we can just log out. No, I missed a Jade Flask. That's unlucky. Switched to Slam build from this early on. I mean, you could have just played Ground Slam into Sunder the whole time, and that's a Slam skill, right? And that would have been okay. They're about 30. We're pretty good. Tier Woe Essence is better than level 20 craft on Wand. Well, if you can Woe Essence and then get an open prefix, you could just do that on like a level, not a level, but on like a wand from like Act 7 or something. You could do it from the Act 3 craft of Added Lightning from where Piety is, but I think it's pretty shit because it costs 4 transmutes. The one from Act 7 costs 2 alchemies, but it's pretty good compared to the craft. I just think that it's pretty rare that you get that going. Usually I just wait to Woe Essence a wand in like Act 7 or something like that, and then try to hope for open prefix. And you can craft on flat damage from Chambers of Sin too. Why do many people like to use Bladestorm for leveling? Because it has a really good interaction with Rage in close combat. So Rage is actually really strong. It increases your like attack damage, your attack speed, and if you use Rage support, it increases your damage based on how many Rage stacks you have, which is just really good. But the main thing about it is that you usually can't stack it up very fast. But you'll see that if I go into a pack and I Bladestorm, Rage, it just keeps ticking up like over time. So I'm never losing Rage really, and I'm constantly gaining Rage for the most part. I mean, obviously I can't gain it if I don't find any monsters, but you know, for a decent amount of the run, I'm just, you know, constantly generating Rage. It's going up pretty quickly. And on top of that, the interaction that it has with close combat is also really good. So close combat says you do more damage the closer you are to a mob, but also your leap slam and movement abilities gain speed, violence, and momentum. So here I'm just gonna go back. I'm probably gonna grab this, and I could grab my rallying cry. Could use a different cry like enduring cry or something, but I'm just gonna use rallying cry. I might wait till I do lab already. There we go. I guess I could go back to Act 1, now that I think about it. That'd probably be better. Boop. What was I explaining again? Oh yeah, but basically your Bladestorm will constantly proc as well. So here we've got Warcry, and we just put it on a left click. I think I want to go to Act 4 town actually. There we go. That was a little weird, but that's just so we can get the rallying cry on left click. Not super huge. To left we do lab, but after that would be really good. It's close combat, snapshot on Bladestorm. No, I don't think it snapshots, but It's really just used to constantly increase our leap slam. So I see I leap slam and the buff is already back up because it's constantly ticking on mobs. At what gem level is +1 once better for added flat damage? I don't know that breakpoint, but really you just want flat damage. Like, there is a point where it's better, but I don't know what point that is off the top of my head. You could just POB it if you want. Switch over to Blood Stance. This is where Rage like isn't that good, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna let the idols rise up, that'll just be a free key for me basically. So we're gonna stop DPS a tiny bit. First him. That's 1, 2, waiting on the third one. There we go. Perfect. I do this because idols aren't very threatening and the next mechanic is portals. I like to pull up PV Lab while I wait for him to spawn. First turn's always gonna be the same in lab, in normal lab I should say, clarify. And so neither that mechanic nor the upcoming mechanic are very threatening. I'm gonna do this, hope for 6 socket. Nope. Never lucky. But yeah, that's basically just gonna lead to more keys. More keys mean more loot. More loot equals better character. Just kind of works out. This is why I check PV Lab, is to see which way I have to go there to go fast, and also which way to go in the next room as well.
Look at this Wolverine looking motherfucker, dude. Came in prepared.
Obviously, thanks to the raid, dude. How's the stream? Are you gaming today or what? Here I'm hoping for like some alchemies or something. I'm really just trying to get another Fizzcraft because my axes are level 16 at this point. It's pretty awful. If I have to wait until Tomahawks, I'll do that. But hopefully that's not the case. But using the Zizbo League, I mean Caustic Arrow, Toxic Rain, Trickster, yeah, it's really, really good. Because you play Trade League, if you really want to play like a bow build and you don't want to go dot build variant, we have Cap Fire Res. It's close, but not quite close enough. I'll go on it after a little bit. But if you want to go like bow build, you could just take Deadeye and you could just take Tailwind, and that's literally the only lab you really need for like early game. And you can just play Caustic Arrow and just hard farm early maps until you get the currency you need for like a 6 link and some bow juice. That's what I would probably do if I was playing softcore. But Trickster's super defensive, and if you want to play like Toxic Rain, Caustic Arrow, it's a super safe way of doing so. Thank you for the sub, by the way, Cloud. I appreciate that. There we go. Thank you, Renovares. Solid stream, have a good run. Thanks, man. Have a good night. Boop. Yeah, you can play like Elemental Renovares instead. But I really like the amount of clear speed that people have been pulling off in like the duo races and stuff. We're just gonna pat down to Brinksmanship, then we're gonna take Soul Steel, Bloodless, Splitting Strikes. I know I'm gonna get a million comments about this, and I'm not going to answer in the comments section because it's answered here. Maybe I'll answer it in the description, but I know that the Warcry node is moving next patch, you guys, and it's actually going to be in a much better spot. I'm gonna pick up that 4 link. Pretty cool. I can pick up this weapon as well, I guess. It's gonna do this instead. But I know that the Warcry node is moving over like to here where Iron Grip is, but we just go down this way. You can probably pick up Splitting Strikes or a couple nodes on those, maybe Bloodless, then you pick this up, and you're just in a better spot on the tree overall. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be rich. Here we're going Berserker, we're gonna go the Warcries. Alright, I don't even know what to do with this many keys. I get so many of them. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and ID this. That's pretty good. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna hold on to these to vendor basically. Move those in there. I'm gonna see if I can get a better pair of gloves really quick. All these like armor scraps are pretty much gonna get vendored for Scrolls of Wisdoms. Decorative Axe could be really good. This Decorative Axe could be really good. Let's see. I didn't find any pair of gloves, so I'm just gonna enchant these. Spectral Axe even could be an improvement. It's not. Let's see if this are DPS increases. So 396, 412. I guess it's slightly better. Better than nothing. And then we've got this 412 versus 402. Alright. Like I said, I'm gonna sell these. I'm gonna need these items. This one's okay, I guess. That's a nice belt. Might hold on to that. Let's just go ahead and sell the rest of the stuff that I don't need. So like all this stuff. I'm going to prioritize having alterations over transmutes, just in case I get a really nice weapon. Leaking Discord, oh no. Oop. Yeah, we can't skip the cages here in this zone. That's fine, just get XP for doing them. My XP is even a little bit low, I would say. So I am a-okay with doing these. Oop. Yeah, the Warcry node is just super sick. Gives us a bunch of life, bunch of mana. I mean, like, instant recovery, I mean. And then also it's just up all the time. Warcries are instant. So we just, you know, get a bunch of HP and mana back just randomly. It increases our attack speed as well. Here's the essence I was looking for. So I'll probably just use this on the 33X. It's the closest tier of X that I've got. Go for this X, for example. Oop. I'll probably do that after Comb or something. The whetstone, nice. Oop, 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 oop. You see the build's starting to come together, we're starting to feel pretty crisp, pretty clean. It's a tomahawk. I'm gonna hold on to that. And I'm just gonna do a recipe on the 33X. Might even just go back to town now for that, in all honesty. Yeah, sure, why not? Boop, boop. So I'm gonna essence this. Is that any good? No, not really. Made a fizz recipe. There we go, 62% increased physical damage, pretty cool. Thanks for speedrun guide on YouTube. You're unable to walk and do inventory mission at the same time. Basically, I just have a different movement ability, or a different key on move only. So I use spacebar, you could use whatever key you want. Q, W, E, R, A, S, D, F, Z. Preferably not like semicolon or something like that, but you know, you can just use whatever key you want. And it'll make you move while stuff is on your cursor and stuff. That's the biggest tip I can give. Other than that, it just takes practice to get down. It took me quite a while to get used to it, so don't feel too bad if you've only done like maybe one practice run and you can't quite do it yet. I don't think I can leap slam up that, can I? Nope. Yeah, melee sucks. Just smoke mine that. But I don't think it's worth taking smoke mine just for the skips. Like I said, I'd probably just use smoke mine early if you're using two-handed, just because of how slow it is. We've got another essence over here, beautiful. Hoping for a contempt. We actually got a contempt. Wow. All right. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to take this tomahawk, and I'm going to quality it up with whetstones. And then I'm going to contempt it and hope for an open prefix. I got it, so I'm going to craft % physical damage on that. I could even wait till after ossuary. But yeah, this is pretty much a weapon that I'm going to use for a very, very long time. Pretty sick. Well, I don't know if I have the currency after ossuary. I should. And then I'm just going to look to replace this X soon. What is that, war banner? That's fine. Brinksmanship will be a really big node. Gives us more AoE, just makes our quality of life a lot higher. PD nearby corpses. Alright. That's like 300 more. Oh, I actually should pick those up now that I think about it. That'd be smart. Those are some pretty good currencies. Chance orbs, we don't need them anymore. Could use one for like Fortify and X6. Did I drop a mana flask by mistake? I guess I did. Oh well, I only need one. Got an open flask. It's not terrible anymore now that we've got the Warcry node. Oop. Yeah, that was a mistake. Shouldn't be that bad though. I said because of this node, just making Warcries instant. Put Warcries on your left click if they're instant. Switch to Blood Stance. Oop. I'll go ahead and wait a second. I'm gonna pop War Banner and it'll just get melted here, as you can see. I think I want ults. I should go ahead and vendor here, because I have so much stuff in my inventory. Check out the amulet. I don't like the amulet very much. Just vendor all this other garbage. Some more ults. Blue filters set up for chaos recipe? No, they are not. You can switch to a different filter once you're like, you know, in a level 60 zone or towards BA or something like that. That's what I would recommend. Good morning, William Blackrobe. Can anybody explain the lore of Susho in this game? That is a story that transcends time itself. He could be here for literal years. That's a 69 life chess piece. Nice. I'm probably gonna have to use that instead. Check our resistance here actually. Resist is a little scuffed. If I can get some more resist, I'm gonna try to do that. And here we're gonna stack up our Bladestorms. Ow, I'm dying. I think I'm stuck on a sword that time. I think my resist is just pretty low, to be honest. If I take a big burst of damage, I'm just gonna left click. I'll just pop a war cry. There we go. I can see if this other chess piece is worth it, the other 4-link, but I don't think it will be. It's pretty okay, but it's not great, so I'll just go and vendor both these chess pieces. Then I go craft some resists. I mean, I probably should have crafted resists earlier. I could even craft some life, I guess. Does this have space for anything? It does not. I might equip this anyways. Gonna craft a little bit of life here. 20 life. Craft, I don't know, fire res, I guess. I don't want to use alchemies. Those should be used later on. See if I have any good piece of jewelry. I like this piece of jewelry. Craft cold res there. And I could probably craft another bit of fire res here. And I think I might craft a tiny bit of lightning res here. Alright, there we go. We got some transmutes. That's fine. We're a lot safer now. Not quite res capped to the point where I'd like to be at the moment. So I've got obviously pretty close to res cap here, but I want to be in parentheses 105% across the board. So when we farm Chamber Innocence for a bit, that's what our main objective is going to be. It's going to be to get XP, but also get loot. So that's what we're going to try to do. I just realized my war cry went off. I do leveling with Trickster Toxic Rain. I might. I did one for the Ziz League and I learned how to do it pretty well back then, but I think I'm pretty rusty and it's been a long time. Crimsara would be expensive on League Start? Probably. I mean, pretty much every item's expensive on League Start. Even something as, you know, unassuming as like a Kikazara or something is a ring that somebody needs for their build, right? So if you're the first person to get that, it'll be pretty expensive. Here I just want to keep stacking up Rage throughout the zone, hopefully not dropping any. Alright, we're good. Is that pack? There usually there is. I'm just saving my war cry for the second that she slaps me. Alright, good. She gets slapped. Gonna wait for that to phase off. How could she slap? Alright, we're good. Just gonna need this, I guess. It's pretty trayish. Let's get rid of that. Alright, we're looking pretty good right now. Yo, I need it for my build, dude. And I'm gonna look to replace the weapon pretty much as soon as I can use this at 39. It's not gonna be till I farm Innocence though, in all honesty. In fact, my XP is really ruined at the moment. Now that I look at it, my XP is in shambles. Let's see if I can do the thing. There we go. Cool. If I stood on top of that, I probably would have died. So that's why I opted to not do it there. Hopefully this isn't Dodri. Alright, good. I don't want to fight Dodri with no rage decks, I'm gonna be honest. There we go. TP out. I really wish I had that Jade Flask actually from Droid Lake. Got Mana Leech? Nope. I do not. I need to open strong boxes actually. So I really need XP. 34 is not quite good enough here. I want to be close to 35 killing Malachi. Being under is like okay, I guess, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna get the dream that I want. I'm gonna opt to not curse her. Cursing her makes her stronger. She eats curses, and she gets vulnerable or unholy might off that. So because of that, I would be in a lot of danger. Couple wrist choppers on the ground. Yeah. I'll just take the one though. I think I'm gonna use that tomahawk for quite a while. I do a two-handed EQ run. I did the other day and it was awful. It was the worst experience in my life. I would probably rather play Summoner. Playing one-handed Bladestorm is just probably going to be better. You can do whatever you want. Just know that you won't have my guidance, that's for sure. You're on your own, buddy. Let's go ahead and just pick up more brinksmanship nodes. I'll go ahead and sell that, I guess. I'm gonna hold on to this. I might sell one of these. I might hold on to it actually, so I can whetstone a weapon for a little bit extra quality. So I'm just gonna drop my Bladestorm. She's probably just gonna fall. Yep, there we go. Careful of the slam. Go to phase out, please. Fortunately, this fight doesn't really give me much in the way of flash charges. Alright, we're good. You would have meant. I don't know why this guy just keeps going to animations. Just animation hungry. 5-5 orb banner here, I think. Seems fine to me. Alright, there we go. We're gonna place a portal preemptively. Oh, he teleported away. For no reason whatsoever. Couple wrist choppers on the ground. This could be some decent rolls, I guess. I'm gonna drop that. Let's see. Real bleed bow run? Nope. Doesn't sound like fun to me. I would just do melee and then respect the bleed bow. I don't think I get any gems here. Yeah, no, I don't. I could take Stone Boy, but I'll pass. Herald of Ash. Oh yeah, you're right. I should be using Pride at this point. I made this mistake in a previous run as well. Yeah, Pride is better. I use the Purity while my weapons are still shit because it gives me a little bit of flat damage. So it's fine at this point. Adds a little bit of clear speed. You know, seems good. Contempt. Nope. That really is just because my damage is just awful. That's about it. Take the Warcry Ascendancy or Rage. I take the Warcry Ascendancy. Would I go Spell Singer, Ball Lightning, Arc, Wave of Conviction? Sure, you could. I'm not going to. Boop. Yep, I skipped the extra Quicksilver from the quest in Act 2 because we're just leap slamming around. Don't really need it. Yeah, Bleed Bow's just got a really slow start. If you're okay having a 5-hour Act 10 instead of a 4-hour, for example, or just being 25% slower, then sure, it's fine, but you know, it's not a starter that I particularly enjoy. It has Havoc, probably. We'll know more about it than I do. But not like it streams. So it's kind of hard to track him down. I don't want you to go, like, personally DMing him. Doors Orbs. That might help out later. Let's go and check this out. Alright, Snow Freeze immunity. I'm kind of scared of some of these rare strong boxes. I don't want to get like deleted. Where's the ult? I don't know where that's at. I would really like that ult, but I can't find it, so. I gotta be careful in case this is like explodey or something. Oh my, that did a lot of damage. Let's go and take these, see if the boots are any good. Hopefully they've got some juice on them. Yeah, those are just better than what I'm using at the moment. I think I'm going to probably delete this. Let's see what resist I actually need though. I'm gonna probably replace these. We're gonna go for cold and lightning res, I guess. Those appear to be the highest in demand. And yeah, it's just way better. So I feel okay with selling that. Are any of these any good? I mean, they're just wrist choppers, I guess. Might as well hold on to them. At this point, I'm gonna drop the Purity and the Herald of Ass. I'm going to pick up Pride. Pride to really just help out on single target. I might hold on to the Pride for a tiny bit. Just because we're gonna farm. Having Herald of Ash and using Herald of Purity really helps with farming, because what Pride does is it says that, you know, you do more damage for depending on how long you've been standing next to a monster. Well, when we're farming Chamber of Innocence, for example, we're not going to be standing next to monsters. We're going to jump on monsters, press Bladestorm maybe twice, and then go away. And so because of that, I'm not really going to prioritize having a Pride at that point, but on Innocence, for example, I will. So it's the first level 32 zone, should be the Combs and Duresso zone. Actually, no, that's 37. That's where you want to be 32. Where's 32 zone? Fox is 27. I would say... I think it's Stride Lake, is it not? Oh, no, it's not. It's Scepter of God. You know, it's Scepter of God is the first 32 zone. Usually at that point, I like to be 27, going on 28. Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense, I guess. Oop, I gotta be a little careful here. Oop. Yeah, I could go back for the Onslaught Flask. I think I might wait a tiny bit. But I guess that would be an improvement, huh? I see that we proc Onslaught every now and again, which is nice. Not quite as constant as I would like it to be, though. Here we're basically just blasting our way to Chamber Innocence, and then we're going to farm Innocence until we're about 39, going on 40. If you are 40, that's nice. If you want to go higher than 40, you can. That's really just to solidify our part 2 of the campaign, just to make us pretty strong. Good luck on the rest of the run. You have a good night too, Goop. Hey, for sub 6-hour playthrough. Hey, nice, congrats. Good to hear it. It's possible to complete 24 out of 36 challenges in the first week. Yeah, I mean, you could probably do 36 out of 40 in the first week. Doing 40 out of 40 is kind of difficult, but also depends on like your time schedule, right? Like if you're just a virgin nerd like me, you could probably play pretty much anytime you're not working. And just eat, sleep, Path of Exile, and then work on the side. I don't have any relationships to upkeep at the moment, so it's not like, you know, I have to do any lip service here and there. I don't have any kids to take care of. You know, nobody, you know, is really gonna go out of their way to bother me, I suppose. Just hoping to get below 80 hours. I mean, as long as you improve from your pastime, I think it's perfectly fine. Like a 230 two-handed EQ run. Nice. Congrats. Oop. That's honestly not much better, not much slower than what I could do in a two-handed run, to be honest. Oop. Like I was pushing like, you know, 2-hour Act 5 Kitava like pretty heavily, in all honesty. Might take that Tomahawk. I get this Tomahawk soon. Oop. Like I said though, I'm just gonna keep farming this zone. Brinksmanship is an important node. Take Soul Steel. Then after that, I think I'm gonna take RT because my accuracy's starting to fall off a tiny bit. Ooh, a rare Tomahawk. What's it gonna be? What we got? What we got? What we got? Ooh, that's sick. Actually, that's insane. Does that have open prefix? It does. Wow, okay. Then I'm just gonna use that till the end of time, I suppose. Cool. Alright, now I need a bunch of alterations, I guess. Let's gonna use the 36 flask now. Oh, that's not quite what I wanted to do. There we go. Oh, what the hell? That thing's insane. I don't know if it's better to craft percent or flat on that one, but I'm gonna use that one probably for the entire run. The other one is okay, but it's not as amazing as this 18% increased attack speed. You can look at the attacks per second on this one and see why it's so good. It's because it's 1.77 attacks per second, which is just ungodlike. It's pretty unheard of for a weapon like this. Because I'm not 39 or even really close to it, I'm gonna go place a portal. Here I'm gonna grab a silver flask, and that'll be my next flask. We got adrenaline, that's fine, I guess. I kind of want to transmute this 36 flask. We get a bubbling, pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and probably ID this, I guess. Alright, I probably could have got the bleed immunity. I need to fix up my inventory a bit just because I need to get a bunch of rare items here. So I'll move this over. I might hold on to the rage, and I might hold on to the whetstones as well. On that though, everything's fair game. I can vendor that. Hold on to these. Boop, boop, boop. Drop that. Just stash that away. Might destroy that. Hold on to this. Destroy that. Okay. It's probably fine to do like inventory management for like just a couple minutes here and there. I think it's fine. So now we're res capped. But again, I'm gonna go for the 105% in parentheses for all these. We're actually super close now that I think about it. Okay, Soul Steel. I'll put us up to 76% res across the board at the moment. And because I've got the little fire res node, I don't know what it's called, barbarism, it means that I have 77% fire res, which is super, super sick. Yeah, having increased max res is really nice just because it means that we just take less damage overall. Level 39, 38. I might even reset this for a third time just so I can get to like 40. But I don't think I have to do that. Maybe. I want to be like 39.5 leaving Chamber of Innocence. So I'm probably going to farm to reflect that. Transmutes. Don't mind if I do. An EQ on the ground. You want to enter B at 55? Yeah, you want to enter at like 44, 54, 55. And then that's the most optimal time to enter. If you're like 56, then you're just reducing how much time you can enter BA at. Think one more. So like if I don't do this Innocence run, I'll be in an okay spot. But I really want to guarantee that I just kind of like pop off. And so because of that, I think I want to go ahead and reset this one more time. If you want to reset it more, you can. I'm more than happy to. Let's go ahead and replace this 588 DPS to 736 to 772. This is one of the main reasons why I don't like melee. It's just because of how annoying it can be to replace your weapons constantly. And on top of that, because of how impactful it is when you do upgrade said weapons. So, I'm gonna reset this one more time. I think I'm gonna pick up Resolute Techniques now. You can see that my accuracy is starting to fall off. I've got like 96% hit rate, 92% on like evasive mobs. I think I'm just gonna let that elite get infected. Didn't really drop it any good. Yeah, now we can just really pop off with how much damage we're doing. I'm gonna hope for more ults so that I can do the physical craft after ossuary. I'm gonna have a slightly slow innocence, and that'll be perfectly fine. Yeah, if you don't want to be super stressed about XP, you could just overlevel a tiny bit, and that's more than okay. Gym Resistance and Docks, and I guess Northern to a degree, are really just zones where you can just fix your XP no matter what run you're having. What I think about Lacerator's League Starter, I think it's good, but I think it's pretty weak early. It's not like you have the bleed and stuff to make it very good early, so I would just wait until like maybe like Merc Lab on Gladiator or something like that. And then after that you can unspec out a Bladestorm probably, and you might have a decent weapon by then. Level 40, damage is pretty good. It's gonna go RT, it's not like we're critting anyways. Just pick up our last little magic pack over here in this corner. We'll go into Innocence, and we're just gonna delete them pretty quickly, I feel like. I don't have a spot for Punishment, but I can switch to Pride now. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We'll take off Ash. I'll take off Purity. I'm gonna switch to Pride, and now I can put my Punishment back on. There we go. Very nice. Besides lost time, is there any disadvantage to over leveling? Really just kind of comes down to the argument of your time could be better spent in a better zone, right? So let's say that instead of farming to like 40 in Chamber of Innocence, you farm to like 50. Well, you're gonna get a decent amount of XP from Act 6, 7, and 8. And so by the time you get to Blood Aqueducts, you could have already been in Blood Aqueducts a lot sooner, and therefore you could have been, you know, getting more currency, getting more XP. Really, it's just worse overall, right? Like, you're just delaying your time getting to maps, ever so slightly, I would say. And you're delaying how long your farm could be. So, like, let's say you farm docks, and you full clear docks, and then you reset docks, and then you full clear that again. Sure, you'll be really, really strong in Act 3, and your Act 4 will be really, really good, but then you're not going to farm Innocence for very long. And Innocence is just an amazing spot to farm in. Res capped? Yep, we're pretty close to what we need. I would say this is close enough. We can get some better gear here in a little bit. As long as we're pretty close to 105% all res, I think we'll be good. Yeah, if you overlevel too much, you'll get an XP penalty. Same as if you were too underleveled, you would get an XP penalty. The way it works is that you need to be 3 levels under the zone, and then for every 16 levels, that can increase by 1. So like if you're level 32, you can be in the 37 zone without any penalty. And this can be, give or take, 1 level, and you only lose like 3%, so usually if I'm like 32, I'll be in like a 38 zone, but it really depends on what part of the campaign you're at. Please go down very quickly. Jeez, that was scary. This doesn't really, the rule doesn't really matter for Act 1 or Act 2. I usually try to go over like what kind of XP I want to be at. So like I want to be like at least 12 or 13 for Merveil. I want to be like at least 20 for Vol, hopefully 21 or something like that. And I want to be like 28 on Dominus, those kind of things. Yeah, once you know what you're doing with your XP, it makes it a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable, I would say. Like, XP is where a lot of people fall short. They kind of like lose sight of what they need to do. Ooh. I don't think I'll be able to craft Fizz on both these Tomahawks, to be honest. Is the ahead command what I said? Nah, there was a YouTube comment that said exactly what that copy paste is, which, let me read it out. You are so far ahead that you are underleveled and missing so much currency. That kind of speedrun is total shit, to be honest, because when I started PoE first time, I cleared all maps, did all content. By the level 10 Kitava, I had so much currency, so much gear drops to change, that by the start of mapping, I did all content beyond without changing anything. So I think running crazy like you are is nonsense. Yep. I mean, hey, if you have a 20-hour Act 10, you better be pretty strong. You know? But it's like the sooner that you're in maps, the sooner that you're pushing your atlas, the sooner you're making a bunch of currency. And it's one of those things that, like, you know, oh, we also need this Fizz recipe, but it's one of those things where, like, it's such a nuisance and such a hassle to get good at that not many people are gonna try to do it, right? Like, if you learn how to get good at, like, Betrayal, for example, it's so frustrating to learn how to get good at Betrayal that for most people it's just not worth it, right? Here we're going to go ahead and take this, and our damage is going to go from 750. I'm a tooltip Andy. That's like the minimum roll, dude. The 870. I don't have enough ults for anything else. Did I do flat craft? No, I can't. Okay, that's fine. You used to be underleveled in 8-hour runs, and now you're overleveled in 5-hour runs. I mean, that's just, you know, the new player experience, right? Replace a portal for this, so we come back to it later. I'm going to drop the Purity, drop the Ash. It's level 42 boots. Alright, I can use those then. Then I'll cap out my lighting res as well, so that'll be really nice. Okay. I'm feeling a lot better now. I think I'll use the red though, don't I? Gear. Oh, these don't have to be red. Okay. It's the best starter in my opinion. I would just recommend playing whatever you want to play. That is the best starter. Like, let's say that you're like 20 minutes faster on day 1, right? And you're like, oh sweet, I played Orbistorm's meta cuck build, and you know, I had like a 4-hour and 40-minute Act 10 Kitava, that's the best I've ever done. And then you could have instead had like a 5-hour A10 Kitava, but on a build you actually want to play, you know? And so like, you know, day 3 or 4 rolls around and you're like, you know, I played PoE for like 4 hours a day, but I really just like don't want to play the Oost build, dude. It kind of sucks in red maps, and I don't know, it's not like Taitai really knew what he was talking about. Kind of wish I played a different build. I'm thinking about re-rolling actually. Yo, Mathel's build looked pretty good. I know his unique items are like super expensive, but that's okay. I'll afford those one day. You know, I think I'll just re-roll to the Mathel build. You know, that's you know, you just want to play something you'll enjoy, because instead maybe with the 5-hour A10 Kitava build, you're like, yo, I really like this build. I really like what I'm playing. I am having fun playing the game. So overall, just a better time. I start hardcore soul stuff at the start of the league. Well, seeing as how I get performance issues every 5 minutes, that's going to be a no from me. Let's go ahead and pick up the top side of the axe wheel, and then after that I'll get the bloodless and axe damage at the bottom. People blame me. I mean, when I started playing, I would like be like, yo, I was lied to, dude. Because I'm gonna take a guess that most people probably don't practice starters, right? Like, there's tons of people come to my chat and they're like, yo, I started practicing leveling because of you, I got way faster. There's probably a ton of people who just can't be asked. And I'm gonna be honest, I was one of those people when I first started playing. And I was like, hey, I have never played Flame Blast totems in my life. But starting in Legacy League, I mean, I guess that's you know, what everybody's saying is OP. So I start Flame Blast totems and I'm like, yo, this is shit, dude. I don't want to play this. Yo, I was lied to, dude. I was literally lied to. It's sure it's good, but I hate this. Isn't there something better? I just didn't want to play like very much until later on. Like leveling, like practicing leveling is like kind of boring, and you can just kind of like learn vicariously through other people, right? So I like completely understand it. Here we gotta be careful. I mean, getting hit by a Kitava Slam's probably gonna one-shot us, I think. So we just want to be a bit safe. Lose a bit of stacks between the phases, but overall it's fine. Our DPS is pretty good. I get these at 42. I don't know if I level up off Kitava actually. That would be nice, because then I could craft resist on these. And we'd be like 77 fire res. Seems good. Where's that going? I can't actually tell. Ooh. In a way, watching Taitai is practice. Yep, that's true. I mean, you said it's yourself beats. Like, you almost never speedrun practice, except for like, you know, when you've got nothing else to do. But it's like, because you watch me all the time, it's like you run through like Vol Ruins or something like that, and you're like, oh, the zone's actually pretty easy, because I see Taitai do it all the time, you know? There's lots of other moments like that, where like you just watch a speedrun and you're like, oh, this just makes sense now. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop my war cry anytime I'm low on mana or anytime I'm low on health. You know a lot of layouts because you held here against your will. Listen, if you tell anybody about it, you know what'll happen. You don't want to say that. Alright. I don't think I'm gonna level up off this. Do you actually just not get any XP off Kitava? Interesting. Let's see, what could I do with Flash? I might do this, I don't know. I kinda like just having a normal life flash just like that, but if I can't, that's fine. You watch me teach Ziz? I don't remember teaching Ziz at all. Ooh. My virtual boot camp. Yo, your Pamphas reacher? Virtual boot camp? I don't think so. Oh no, dude. Oh no. wait a second. That stuff's not too bad. Alright, let me go ahead and craft the last little bit of fire res that I need on these boots. These boots will be pretty nice. I'm not gonna use an alchemy on them. I'll probably replace them at some point. You can see the things I'm looking for are things like life, a resist, and an open suffix, which is exactly what I got there. DPS is so low. It's melee, homie. For being melee, this is pretty good. Ziggy D, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I offer a lot of coaching usually before the league start, but this time around I'm just gonna wait for patch notes. I don't want to jibby people in with a build that might get nerfed, you know. Yeah, I want to replace these sockets just so then, because like these two red sockets, these don't have to be linked together, right? Punishment and War Banner. It doesn't matter if those are on a 1 link or a 6 link, really. And so because of that, I just want to put them pretty much anywhere that I can. However, the Ancestral War Chief and the Mame do matter if they're linked to each other, so. You watch Kitava to catch up on reality TV? I'm gonna be honest, the show that he watches is pretty dog shit. The 90 Day Fiancé, and I kinda hate it. But watching with chit chat, or Twitch chat, is actually pretty enjoyable, I would say. It's pretty fun. I don't think with all the DMCA strikes going around, he's gonna be able to do that for very much longer, to be honest, but I don't know, we'll see. I wouldn't do it. But he's going where no man has before. Why did that show become a Twitch show? I don't know. I have no idea. But here, usually Einhar will show up in arenas if you've got like a separate little zone for an arena. Here I want to go over here so the Scorching Ray is on the other side of the fight. Cool. Oh. Let's go to pop Punishment, pop our Ore Banner. Okay. I'm gonna grab that. I'll switch over to Sands Dance. I really like the pathing that I take for X6. So my amulet's pretty good. I might keep the amulet actually. I would have liked to have replaced it, but yeah, I guess the amulet's fine, the belt's pretty fine. I'll just keep these. I'm okay with these. Yep, complacent. Yep. Let's keep going for the axe wheel. Just getting cleaving. The bottom side of the axe wheel is really good. The top side is pretty nice. The whole axe wheel in general is pretty good. The reason why I only take half the axe wheel and then I get the other stuff is just because things like getting the instant war cry are more beneficial. Again, I would just go down here and grab the war cry instead. But you know, maybe you could even grab a few of these top nodes before you go down. I don't really know how it works out. You'd have to do the math. Or maybe I do the math, but I'm too lazy for that kind of stuff. You need to speak to Sin to get Pantheon on League start? Nope. Usually I just kill Brian King and then I grab my Pantheons. I know Words of Glory. I don't even know what that is. Isn't that a lab enchant for gloves? Is Twilight Strand worth? Well, Twilight Strand isn't a skill point, sir. It's all the skill gems. I want Fortify so I can be a lot tankier, and on top of that, there's probably just gems that you want later on, right? Like, this is just what I would do on like a league start, you know? I should have logged out so I could talk to Lily, but I already took a Hama before the DS Lily quest. Because Lily is, you see how Lily's like down there in the docks, but not really. It's because that's where she is initially, because she sails you over here. But after killing Tukahama, she's over here in the upper side of town next to Vestal. I want to replace Melee Fizz. I could just keep that leveling if I want. I'll talk to Tarkly, grab our skill point. I don't think I need anything else. We're going to grab Cleaving. This way it just mitigates how much we have to walk around in town. Let me go ahead and ID this. It's 4 additional items. Sure, why not? I mostly like the guarded by 3 rare mobs. That's the main thing I want to look at. Obviously we could pick up every gem we want. I could pick up a casting damage taken if I wanted to. I could even use, I mean, I guess I could have been using Steel Skin the whole time, but really kind of hard for me to use Steel Skin on like left click because I've got the rallying cry, I guess, but I guess I would just use a casting damage taken Steel Skin. That's going to replace this 36 flask. Because this 36 flask is bubbling, I'm probably not even going to replace that till I get to level 60 flasks. Oop. But yeah, we're pretty strong now. I feel pretty good about the character at the moment. Here I'm going to go for life nodes next. That's just where I'm going to head over to after this. I'm going to head down to these bad boys. Is PV going to the Discord after? Yep. You know it. I'll also probably put this out on YouTube in the next coming day or so. Berserker's like one of my most requested runs on YouTube, period. Even though it's basically just duelist. Kind of surprising. I initially thought that Marauder was just duelist, but in every worse way. But really, it's just the early game that is pretty awful. That's just because we don't have things like Frost Blades to zoom, we don't have Challenger charges, but I think this is a pretty good workaround. Oop, gonna go and grab that. Now we can go through here. There we go. It's a clean way to do the trial. This crafting recipe is pretty nice. I was feeling comfortable in duo runs because I put the portal at the crafting recipe and they're like, why'd you do that? But I find myself using that double resist quite often. Boop, boop. Oh, careful. You never know when you're going to counter a martyr, so you gotta be a little careful of those. Did I kill Tugahama for Tugahama? Yep. That one's just freaking Korra, actually. Essences, I'm of course going to do these for the fizz damage recipe. If I don't have anything, the fizz recipe, so like for example, this axe will probably never be replaced until like I get to Siege Axe, or like late 50s in VA. And so because of that, I'm probably going to use this essence either just to hold on to it for a very long time, or I'm going to use it on jewelry if I do need a piece of jewelry pretty badly. How do I reset my crafting recipes? So playing in Soul Southbound, you have the option to migrate all your progress. So that migrates all of your stashes, what's in your atlas, so all your atlas progression, as well as your crafting recipes and stuff like that, and obviously your characters. So boop, 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 boop. I don't like losing stacks, that's why I was hunting around for a mob at the end over there. Boop, boop, boop. Careful. Yeah, damage is pretty good at this point, I would say. Once we have all our rage stacks up, it's pretty apparent how much damage we're dealing, but before then it's kind of difficult to tell. Boop. Gonna pop punishment, pop reward banner. Gonna pop off on damage. I don't need the what's it called? The spell damage craft here, so we just go and log out. Grab our helmet, see if it's any good. Let's grab the pure strength base. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's basically the same as this, just with more armor. About it. I don't think I want to waste chromatic orbs on it though. Yeah, Soul Suffin, you can't do it in Trade League. I really wish you could migrate all in Trade League, but it's like, where would you migrate it to? There's lots of times where I want to do like a, I don't know, just like a fresh Trade League start, but I can't. Because, you know, I would have to play on an account without all my stash tabs and stuff, and that's just a hassle. I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding. I'm dying, dude, I'm dying, I'm literally dying. Fine. Oop. 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 I mean, we curse mobs at the start of the fight so that we get the full benefit from it. Because cursed enemies have reduced physical damage reduction, is just good no matter what. I mean, you don't have to delete all your SSF standard stuff, you could just delete all your SSF like temp league stuff. That's usually what I do. I don't like grabbing these skill points right now, they're kind of scary, and so I wait until Act 7. And then I do a Cruel Lab. Cruel Lab's a little strange just because of the fact that I still kind of want to use Rage support. But I think the Rage Merc Lab is really, really good. Could use Berserk, I guess, but like... I think Rage support, just adding the flat damage is like still really strong. Like, Marauder's in this weird spot where like there's a bunch of stuff you want, but not a whole lot you can get. I think I might take the Savage hits and then take Carnage instead, to be honest, just because of how strong Rage is. Yeah, I might do that. That seems good. Restart and hardcore trade? Yeah, you could do that as well. If there's like no trade league going on. I usually just use an alt account though. I have like 3 or 4 different alt accounts that I've used for practice, and I filled those up with character slots for practice, depending on what kind of race it's for. If you play on standalone client, you have faster load screens than Steam, and if you play on an alt account, you have faster load screens than on your main. Obviously, you wouldn't play on an alt account on a league start though, just because you wouldn't have all your stash tabs, and MTX is kind of nice as well. Here I'm playing on my main account, so technically my load screens are a little bit slower, but it's not going to play a huge, impact on the run itself. Because this is pretty representative of what most people would do, I imagine. Wet. Yes. Should be over here, I think. There it is. You're practicing League Start, you went from 7 hours to 4.5 hours in 4 days after watching some of my tutorials. Nice. Glad to hear that you could have such self-improvement. But us. Why are the load times slower on main? I don't know why. I would assume it's because of your friends list, because of your character list, because of your MTX maybe, because of the duration of the account. Like, I don't know why. That's not a theory that I can make a hypothesis about and then be like, oh yeah, let me just buy a few $100s worth of MTX on this alt account so I can see if it's the MTX. Oh, it wasn't the MTX? Oh, well, I guess it's all wasted now because I've got the same exact MTX. You know, I don't know if like different MTX plays a different factor. I would assume it has something to do with your character list and how much MTX you have. But again, I can't prove that theory, so we just have no idea. Yeah, basically it just comes down to like you have too much shit. Like maybe it's the stash tabs, I don't know. Maybe stash tabs are actually pay to lose or something. I don't know. It's a marginal difference though. It's only like a small percentage slower. I can't remember the number off the top of my head when I did load screen testing, but it was pretty minuscule. Using both standalone and using this what's it called? Separate account was a nice little boost though for like racing. But it's only matters for like races where like you know, you could lose by like 30 seconds for example. I've lost and won by like a minute in some races. Call Chris Wilson right now and ask him. Unfortunately, just because I shake a hand with somebody doesn't mean that I get their phone number, so. I could probably send an email over to GGG and ask why that is. But I'd be willing to bet that they're like hardly aware of it and it's not like an issue for them. Love my content? I love you. I don't know where it came from. Bat signal Chris? Maybe. Chris is hot? Yep. I had a new emote today. It's become kind of meta. I think Black Pox made it. It's a pet the Chris. That was cringe. Welcome to the stream. How may I help you? So here we're gonna go ahead and burn the thing. And then we're gonna go over here. That'll make the boat animation skip. And we gotta find the little spot for Leap Slam. There it is. Cool. It's actually pretty hard to get that spot for Leap Slam. It's a lot easier on like Smoke Mine or Flame Dash, for example. How far am I taking the run today? I'm gonna take it to A10 Kitava, stop the timer, and then you guys like it when I do a map run at the end. Just to see what it looks like. So I'm probably gonna do that as well. I don't know if I can replace the Mana Flask. I'm gonna do the Mana Flask test. Basically, the Mana Flask test is just you take off your Mana Flask and see if you need it or not. I think you might need Mana Flask next patch, because I don't think Rallying Cry gives you mana regen. It gives you damage and stuff, but I don't think it gives you the mana regen. So... Oh yeah, it would appear that even if I'm doing everything in my power to spend all my mana, I don't need the Mana Flask. Not that I could, you know, have another aura on or anything like that, but... this means that I can equip a Granite Flask. Did I really misread the zone that badly? No, I'll just equip that, I guess. Yeah, I really just did that, didn't I? Huh, Volside area made it look a little funky. Alright, Arc Elementalist. No, I haven't played that. You can just copy Anki's guide for that, though. It's not a build that I'm particularly interested in. If I was gonna play an Elementalist, it would be a, it'd be an Orbistorm's build, and then I would play like any other build after transitioning. Honestly, playing Oos and then transitioning into some other build like Arc would probably be a good choice. I really was just kind of hoping I would find a pack outside so I could stack my Rage. I don't know if her dialogue continues or not. I don't think it does. Yeah, that felt like a waste of time. I just didn't want to lose all my stacks here like how I'm doing right now. Yeah, I got a bubbling. Nice. That's sick. Damn, I thought her lore would continue. Unfortunate. Well, now that we're down to 3 stacks successfully, we can go ahead and lose all our rage stack. This fight really sucks as melee. Like, it really, really sucks as melee. That's the guide you're following for next league? Yeah, Anki's build is really, really nice for beginners. I think it's like the #1 go-to starter build guide, I would say, for beginner players. I should recommend that more often, I think. I get a lot of people ask, like, what build should I play as a new player? And I'm like, what should you play? It's kind of like where, like a class itself could be like a boring class, right? Like if I'm talking about like school. Like you can take a really boring class in education, but if you have a really good teacher, then you can learn so much more than if it was like a really good class but a shit teacher. Like if you were to copy like I'm not gonna argue with the fact that like my build guides are pretty awful. They're just like, oh yeah, I did this, that, and this. And Mathel's kind of got the same thing going on, where like, if you're a beginner player and you're following Mathel, and he's like, yeah, I took this build, made it CI about level 78 or so, I really like the hybrid version of it though. Might take a low life with the Chavrons in a bit. I just really like the damage. I decided to pick up the Ziri Scepter. Dorianus was just really good, I found. You could alternatively use, and as a new player, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? What is he saying? That's not English. But like once you know what you're doing, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But like as a brand new player, that's pretty frustrating, right? Sure, I think I'll go ahead and sell this, that, this. Check this out. Trash. Delete that. You know, I think it's a little weak in endgame, but you really just need to throw more currency at it, which is what most build guides do, in my opinion. That's what you have to do as most builds, I would say. It's just like, oh, it feels bad now, I'll just throw more currency at it, you know? Boop, boop, boop. There we go, it's a block it. Really over-explains things without much jargon. Yep.
Alchemy.
An alchemy, I might take that.
Alchemy.
Yeah, pretty much beats. What am I leaning towards is League Star? We'll have to wait for patch notes. I would say just play whatever you want. I'm leaning towards Us Assassin though. I've got a VOD ready in my highlights, but I'm not gonna put it on YouTube until I see patch notes. I don't want to promote a build that's like it's kind of a clickbaity title if it's like 20 minutes faster than the other builds that I play. And then it gets nerfed, right? Also, on top of that, I'm kind of hesitant to even make it public, just because of the fact that I'll put it on YouTube. Because it sucks for red maps, so you'd have to play something like Cast on Crit later, or really just any assassin build in late game. You could take like Assassin BV or something. Nice. Impale, totems, rage, cock. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of mechanics in this game that can trip you up as a new player. Basically, if you're a new player, just play like one build, like all the way to endgame. You don't have to do like Uber Elder or Shaper or anything like that. Just, you know, play the game a lot, get to like some pretty high tier maps, as long as your build's good enough to do them, I should say. And, you know, just get a pretty nice build going, I guess. I might actually take Carnage Heart, to be honest. The 40% more damage is pretty sick. I'm really not a fan of 10% increased damage taken. I mean, to be honest, if you're playing in hardcore, you probably go like Jug or Gladiator or something like that. But yeah, I think Carnage Heart might be the best bang for my buck for Merc or Cruel Lab. Another alchemy, nice. That means I could craft flat on an axe later on. Might save it for a siege axe or something. Will they nerf Archmage? Yes, we need the stroke. But we don't know if it'll be enough to kill the build, so. Here I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Granite Flask. There we go, Granite. Shock Immunity, I guess so. I forgot Shock Immunity. I don't really want to use this flask in endgame though, so it's fine. Yeah, I think Archmage brand is going to be pretty rip, but I think Archmage itself will probably survive. Ooh. It should be fine, to be honest. You could still just play non-Archmage Stormbrand, and it's like fine, I think. You might need a bit of money to do it in like endgame, but I thought of doing like an auto bomber, but using Stormbrand for like single target. I usually get a lot more viewers on League Star. Usually I get more viewers before the league start, so like now, as people come in to learn stuff. Depends on what I'm doing though. You know, if I'm streaming like a race or something, I'll get 1,000 viewers. I don't know, I don't really try to like push viewer count as high as it goes. I just try to push myself as high as I can go. I try to be more entertaining, more educational. You know, if I'm pushing ladder and stuff like that, well, that's pretty good for viewership. But like really, I just try to be somebody that I would want to watch. And that's just what I try to do with my stream. Not like, oh, I gotta, you know, check the analytics, dude. Oh, I gotta do this to get the numbers up, dude. Oh, those are rookie numbers. Is this a race? I'm racing myself, so sort of. Oop. I don't know. This isn't like a full thing for me. I do this for fun, right? So, just trying to have fun, help out the boys. I'm gonna go for splitting strikes next. And after that, I think I'm gonna go for Scion Life Wheel. This seems good to me. Could even go Scion Life Wheel now, but I think splitting strikes will help with damage quite a bit. I don't know why I switched there in the middle of the fight, but yep, you're right, dude. You're right. That's actually a pretty sick weapon. Let me tooltip Andy it really quick. I think I'll replace this one. We are 968. Now we are 1200 gaming. Holy shit. There's no way this is open prefix, right? Yeah, no. That thing's insane, dude. Doesn't have any open stats, but it's still like such a huge improvement on damage. It's an axe too. Wow. One of the main reasons why I don't like melee is just because it's so weapon dependent. Caster, you can like craft one weapon and use it, or two weapons and use it for pretty much the whole run. Melee, you can't really do that. You're like constantly updating them. Like this weapon, even though it's such an insane weapon, this thing's nuts. It'll be replaced eventually. Maybe it won't actually. Hang on a second. We gotta go back. I'm scared. Oop. What's the green buff at the top? It's close combat. Basically, it's one of the biggest reasons why we use Bladestorm. Is because I can place, so close combat is an ability that does more damage the closer you are, and also increases the attack and cast speed of any movement ability you use. I think it's just attack speed actually. Oh, it's attack and cast speed. But it's on like supported. Yeah, it's for on hit attacks. So you know, if I attack with Sunder or something, then I will get one use out of close combat. But you can see if I place down a Bladestorm, it procced, it procced, it procced, it procced. I have close combat again, I have close combat again, close combat again, close combat again. Basically, every time I'm done with the leap slam, close combat's already back up. So I get a huge amount of attacks per second for leap slam. No recently start, but am I going for first 100 or just first maps for big early trade? I like to go first for maps. 100 race just takes something out of me. I don't know. It's fun for the first few days, and then I've got like real life responsibilities, right? Like I have 2 jobs. You know, I don't have any school at the moment, but you know, I've done 100 races, like, you know, during finals week, for example. That wasn't very fun. It's just usually times where I just like, you know, I want to go out and I want to be like, I want to be able to like go to the store and not feel like I'm wasting time because I'm getting food for myself. You know, it's things like that. I guess the rookie mistake there is not stocking up on 5 years worth of food for a league start, but oop. Do I drink energy drinks? No. Like what Beat said, they make me feel like shit. I don't usually have a bunch of sugar. Oh, this is actually important. I should talk about this. For Northern Forest, once you find the Dread Thicket, you place a portal for it. You continue on through the causeway and you go all the way to Vol City. This way you can take the waypoint from Vol City back to town. You can go through your portal, and then you can get through the Dread Thicket, kill the bear, and then you can go ahead and pick up all 3 skill points from X7 at once. Do I practice food store run? No. Imagine not having a feeder. Not anymore. I used to. I thought one of those, like, what if you got like a giant like hamster like water tank or something like that, and you just, whenever you were thirsty, you know, you just had this gigantic like filtered water like on the wall, kind of like how your fridge has like filtered water and stuff. And maybe your fridge doesn't, but you know, you can get like filtered water, and you just lean over to the side and you go like, and you get a little bit of water. Honestly, I don't know why I'm not a millionaire yet, but it's not literally a water bottle, it's like what those hamsters drink from. I don't know what it's called. I don't know, dude. It seems like a pretty good idea to me. She's a camelback. I mean, I guess you could do that. Yeah, water dispenser. There you go. You know, box of Cheetos. Usually I get like Chester fries or something like that because those are pretty good. But usually early on I need both hands on the wheel, so I have to play as highly efficient or as efficiently as possible. This would be a little weird if it was in the middle. I think. Still gonna check for it. Oh, a little weird, but there it is. I need a vendor because I don't have a space for everything, actually. Let's go ahead and sell the stuff I don't need. Do I need this? Let's try res. I think I'm just going to use it, to be honest. I could have sold that as well, I guess. I know, whatever. Can I fit molten shell in somewhere? I cannot. I would love to, though. Popcorn? I can't eat popcorn, sir. What do I eat on League Start? Usually I try to eat healthy. I'll eat a big bowl of cereal, which isn't very healthy. Sometimes I'll make like scrambled eggs and stuff, though. That's what I've been doing more recently. A little acidic, but I think it's better than cereal overall. I've made breakfast burritos for League Start. Those are pretty good. For lunch, usually I just try to eat like a tuna fish sandwich or something like that. Not the best thing in the world, but jeez, that's so annoying. I might just change that sound just for this sound alone. I could see how that would get annoying for most people. Funny for me, but sure, most people won't find it quite as humorous. Here we just have to be a little careful. Can't really stand in one spot or we'll die. And there we go, we got everything. Go ahead and log out. Sucks, yeah. I like to eat peanut butter and jelly as well. Obviously not healthy either, but you know. Usually I'll make rice beforehand. Rice is pretty good. Sometimes I'll just eat like rice and like chicken breast. It's probably the best that I eat on League Start, I would say. Alright, now my damage goes way up. You can see damage is 1309. Now it's 1500. I should have probably picked up a Gladiator's Perseverance, I think. Then it's pretty good. After that I can go to Scion Life Wheel. Let's go ahead and grab both skill points from Act 6. That way I'll have the full Gladiator's Perseverance. And we'll just be super, super strong. I'm talking ridiculously strong. How do I move while talking? You click on the vendor or the person and then you click away. Just very quickly. You can use left click, use middle, or wherever your other move only command is. Really, you just click on them and you click away quickly. There's a little bit of a timing and it's kind of hard to do on this patch, so if you can't do it, then that's fine. Just don't try it, I would say. Because it's actually... it was really easy and then they made it substantially harder. I don't know if they did that intentionally, but it wasn't in patch notes from what I could tell. I don't know if they wanted it to be harder or if it's a gameplay mechanic. I meant to message somebody at Grinding Your Games about it, but it's just never really came up. I just assumed it was just intentional. But thinking back on it, I don't know if that's the case. Prisoner's Gate? Cool. I tried Gamer Fuel. No, I don't like taking stuff like that. I really despise taking like specific stuff for like energy. Even if it's like has no sugar, there's, you know, never a case where something's just the god tier food and it's just like this is the healthiest thing that'll give you the best energy and you should just take it all the time because there's just no downside to it, you know. What time EST does the league usually start? I think it's switched like some leagues ago, so I don't really know. I just look at it a few days beforehand and then I look at the countdown. If you go to the website, there's a big countdown at the top of it for Path of Exile. Also, if you log in, you'll see the countdown as well. Alright, so we've got both skill points here. Alright, cool. Now we've got every skill point, every lab. I forgot I'm supposed to log out there. Whoops. That's fine. Boop. Okay, let's get Gladiator's Perseverance now. Boop. So this gives us leech, attack speed. Seems good. I'm gonna look at Cruel Lab. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna go Carnage Heart, to be honest. It's pretty YOLO, but it's a ton of damage. You could take Rage alternatively, I guess, if you wanted to. It would mean that you would pop off in Merc Lab, I think. You could respec it, I guess. I don't know what to do though. To be honest, if you're using Bladestorm, you really want to use Rage support all the way until like high maps, and even then Rage support's still really good. Maybe you could not use it, I guess. This Rage Dance is just kind of good, I guess. Kind of makes you pop off, but like you kind of just go like too fast, I feel like. There's a certain degree of attack speed that you want, and taking that node is like crossing the line, I feel like. And you use like one-hander and shield and you'd be perfectly fine. As far as what you do in endgame though, I'm not really sure. Guess you could take the blitz charges. I think the new amulet, I was talking with Ventura about this, he said that taking the new amulet, that makes it so you don't have any crit damage, but you have like a huge amount of crit chance. He said that the item is probably going to be overtuned, and that that taking that with blitz charges would be really good, because you just get accuracy on gear, and you get that amulet, and you don't do any crit damage, but you crit very often, and you get the blitz charges from this, which give you 20% more attack speed and a pretty nice amount of flat damage. Here I'm just checking PvE Lab again, like I said, just to see where to go. Still don't have freeze humidity, that would be really nice, but not gonna have that for a while. Whoa, these are pretty good rings, I would say. Like really high on resist. Let's see what they do to my resist. Okay, cool. That's kind of nice. Am I still capped without flash and everything? Yeah, I am. Alright, then I might just craft a life on these. These are pretty high resist, so I want to keep those for a long time. Boop. Is there anything here? No. Someone help me with fonts. I can just handle fonts on my own, I think. Fonts are kind of scary, so like things like lieutenants aren't super scary. We're not doing a million damage. We're not gonna one-shot ourselves to reflect like we would in Uber Lab. And so because of that, I don't really care about lieutenants. I just see it as an extra key. But for things like fonts, like these are pretty scary if I don't have curse immunities. So could even roll a curse immunity on my own. And yeah, I might stop DPS for a bit, just so I can get this one down. This is LA weakness. Alright, as long as I don't get hit by a slam, I should be fine. I think this is okay. Yeah, I'll have vulnerability on me, but it's not the end of the world. How do I know what axes? I want a vendor recipe. It's not every higher tier recipe. It's basically like if you're using cleavers and they're fine and you don't need anything, you could save it for not the tier after that, but the tier, like 2 tiers higher than that. Just so it'll save you some extra currency. Like really it just depends on your situation. If you're feeling good on damage, like if you're feeling bad on damage and you're a few levels away from the next tier of axes, you wouldn't want to save it for the tier after that, right? Like let's say that you're using 2 cleavers or something like that at like let's say like level 22 and your damage just sucks. You wouldn't want to wait for decorative X's at 29. You would want to do them on the level 25 X's, whatever those are called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, that's pretty much what you want to do. You just want to upgrade based on feel. You can upgrade every like 1 to 2 tiers. There's certain bases that are better than others, but like you can take a bad base and use it if you're just feeling like garbage, you know. I should probably use this Stibnite instead of the Quartz, to be honest, but it's whatever. Ooh. I'm dying, dude, I'm dying. Yeah, I forgot I had Vuln on me, so that made it really scary, actually. Oop. Wow, we're rich. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go Aspect of Carnage. We get 40% more damage. I don't know if this is the best pathing to be honest, but it's probably what I'd do. Boop, 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 boop. Could even look at using a shield or something like that, I guess. Boop. If I find like an amazing shield, I could just go one hand plus shield. That's okay. I like that chest piece though. I don't know if it's better than what I'm using. Mana Regen if you've cast a spell recently. Well, I never cast a spell. If I take the boot enchant, yep. I could hold on to these items though. And the rest. Any gem I need? Not that I can think of. That's a new taken would be cool. I might even chrome this and then maybe 3-link it or something. I want to get like some red sockets. There we go, perfect. Yeah, I could go like Maim, Sister War Chief. I can go like I could just use cast on damage taken, I guess. That'd probably be better. Cast on damage taken, steel skin. There we go. Probably better than using 3-link War Chief, to be honest. Or just to go back to X7 town, I guess. But yeah, I've got every lab done. So Cruel lab done. Every skill point. 220 X7. That goes to 225. But I think it's worth switching to cock. Only have one cost breeze and a 14% build. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So it'll feel kind of bad for a while, but it'll still probably be better than just using Oos. And it's not like it's that dramatic of a tree of a change from Oos anyways, so. Boop. And Einhar doesn't really matter in level 1 here, to be honest. Okay, damage is pretty insane at this point though. Boop. It is a little concerning how much extra damage we take, but I think we'll be okay. I wonder if Molten Shell would actually be better than Steel Skin. I think because we have so much armor, Molten Shell will actually be better than Steel Skin here, in all honesty. I would not be surprised if it's better. Kinda hard to tell though. Oh, we got Einhar, cool. Oos? Yeah, Orbistorms. Oop. Are pretty tanky. I'm gonna get the full Scion Life Wheel. And there's a little node that reduces the physical damage that mobs, or physical resistance that mobs have, right next to it. It's like on the way from like the Scion starting part to the Scion Life Wheel. And that'll be nice to take. This is accuracy. Might need that for later. Not sure. Gonna take that. Yeah, I don't know if you'd get the blitz charges or not. It'd really be like a Merc Lab kind of thing. I guess I could take Pain Reaver. Not that bad. I don't even know if these Ascendancy options are optimal. All I know is that you really want the Warcry for normal. And I know that you really like having a Rage support. Let's hope this guy doesn't get ghosted. Cool. You know, you could go drop the Rage support and just use an extra link there, like Melee Fizz, and that wouldn't be too bad. Alright, cool, we were able to get him to half. Getting this boss to half is really good. Wow, that's a really nice X. Getting this boss to half is really, really good because means that they phase out immediately, rather than taking a long time. Gonna punishment. I'm gonna wait to draw my Ward Banner just in case it does that. Is it coming up? Careful of that. Punishment again. Got my Ward Banners. Seems good. And we're just gonna keep going. Switch to Sand Sense. Next time I'm in town, put Phase Run with casting damage taken for more run speed. That really doesn't help because we're leap slamming all the time, and you drop Phase Run as soon as you take an action.
What?
And it's not like you can use it in town, right? So it's not useful there. Like the only time we're actually not leaping and we're walking somewhere is when we're in town. And it can't be used there, so it's not good. Yeah, I think I might just use this. This is like increased phase, or increased attack speed. Probably gonna use it over. I don't know if it's better than this actually. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't really know. It's a much higher base type, so I wouldn't be too surprised if it was. This is a case where busting out the good old POB would probably be better. I'm a little lazy. I'll just tooltip Andy it. Oop. And yeah, now I can I can craft on this, I guess. Might be better. 2400, 2100. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and craft on that. Why not? I've got so many ults at this point, I think it's fine. I think percent increased physical damage is probably gonna be better as long as I get a high roll. That's not really a high roll. 2300 to 2500. I really would like to have a casting damage taken setup. I'm gonna use a little bit of currency. Tiny bit of currency. Perfect. We got it. Cool. Inside these shields though. See if I can find anything better. Nope, that's just a vendor. Run throughs with commentary are so good. Thank you.
See you.
Cool. I don't know, I'm just kind of spitballing my thoughts out loud. Sometimes I make wrong decisions and I apologize for that. Sometimes they're not optimal decisions. They're just my decisions. That's about it. Fusing. Whoop. I like to do runs with music, but YouTube gets mad at me and also all the DMCA stuff. Once I start practicing for a league start though, and not like just playing random builds for fun, I'll probably just go back to listening to music though. Just those builds won't go on YouTube. I can go ahead and open this unique. It's just going to be a bunch of tormented spirits. It's going to be a bunch of items that drop from it. I'm kind of scared of the shit on the ground though. Careful. The helmet, there's a belt, also the gloves. I do those. The belt's not bad actually. The helmet's pretty bad. All the gloves are pretty bad. Ceremony axe, iron ring. We'll continue along. Ooh. Got a nice 2 rare and a magic pack on top of each other. You can also jump through that little door right there. These cluster jewels at all? I will in endgame, but it's not something that you can reliably get while you're leveling. And next league, you can't get a cluster jewel while you're leveling, so unless you like leveled up late and bought a cluster jewel, I suppose. But yeah, no. I'm too scared to open that. Too much of a wimp. That's actually pretty good. I don't think it's better than this X though, I'm gonna be honest. No, it is not. Okay, I'll put it off to the side. This belt's pretty good. I might use that actually. I think because I've got way too much fire resist though, I might just hold off on using that. It's gonna do this instead, I think. There we go. I don't like that. Probably teleport on top of me or something. There she goes. If fight gets too scary, you can click on the little lever, but you can see we just really don't need to. I'm gonna grab this crafting recipe. Don't forget it. Ooh, then I go over here. So if you want to be the absolute speed racer, you can go to the left, go to the Lunar side, but really there's no reason to do that outside of a super fast speed run. On a league start, I would always go to the right. You can help Carissa, you know, revive her dead boyfriend, and kill her dead boyfriend, and then you can also kill the legionnaires, which is also good. Oop. Just go and ID this stuff. Just kind of want alts, I guess. Any rings or rare amulets we're just gonna pick up. It could always be an improvement over what we're using. Got the ink here. I'm gonna look around for Clarissa's boyfriend. If you don't know where you're going, you can just hug the coastline. I don't know what you call that, the water, I guess. And that should be fine. Kinda want a vendor here actually. Vendoring would be nice since I've got so much space. I'll probably sell 15 of these. That'll give me 30 scrolls of wisdom. Hold on to the whetstones since we're melee. The whetstones actually kind of help. What do I want to stash away? Like move this here. Move this here. I could probably stash away all this currency to be honest. Is there anything that I can quality? That would be good. Guess I could roll a flask, but there's no reason to do that. Yeah, just take more points towards the Scion Life Rule, I guess. Seems good. Are Delve drop only mods still a thing? I believe so. Gotta be careful, that thing kind of forms. Yeah, I'm gonna TP out just a vendor really quick. Log out. We can't quite get our skill point. Okay, I can go ahead and stash away most of the stuff, I think. Be Pretty good. I should stash away that. I want to craft life on the ring that I'm using at the moment, just because this is a really, really nice ring. Seems good. Okay, we'll go back. Just before I forget. Yeah, I might go do some delving next league, to be honest. It sounds pretty fun. Still no freeze immunity, but hopefully I can click on it and sleep slam away. I did not. That was kind of scary. Honestly, it's stuff like that that's like gonna be one of the only ways that we can die in a run like this. 2 red, 2 G, 2-hander. Thank you, sweetie. Silver flask. Eventually, I don't think I'll need the onslaught, or not the onslaught. Sorry, the adrenaline roll that I have at the moment. So might use that. Planning on low level delving or deep delving? Probably deep delving. I play like a really fast mapper, get a bunch of sulfite, set up my betrayal board for sulfite scarabs, get a bunch of currency, and then make a deep delver 20 HP build or something like that. I guess you get like 20 ES build, but I don't really know how to deep delve though, so it's gonna be interesting learning how to do that. Boop, boop. We're gonna kill the legionnaires obviously for the other skill point. And now we've got every skill point up until this point. I guess we're missing Yugle. I don't like you doing Yugle at the moment. It's perfectly fine to wait for him. I'm missing Constitution. Trying to pick that up. We go from 1675 life to 1900 life. Nice. Those are cool. I'm gonna start a month in the league. Probably like day 4 or 5. Honestly, I might play the Cast on Curve build like for the first week or so. And then whenever I need a soul fight, I'll switch to that character. Because it's kind of frustrating to play a build that has like 30 ES on it and then like try to get all the soul fight in the map, you know. If it's gonna be fun, yeah. I'm not going for like rank 1 or anything. Just wanna like have some fun. Going for rank 1 delve was kind of difficult, regardless. Deep delve with Stormbrand. You should just ask Tuna, Crouching Tuna, when he goes live in a few hours. He'll know more about it than I do. I don't know if it's gonna be ripped next league. I don't know if it'll be fine next league, but he really liked his Stormbrand character this league. I watched him level it and everything. Boop. Here, we're gonna grab the waypoint, then we're gonna go on and do the Solaris 2. If I grab all the transmutes I find, so nice for mapping. Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. Yeah, you could use sweep to level 2-hander, but really I dislike sweep. Also, it's not going to be a slam skill, so it's not like it's going to get a huge benefit from, you know, all the slam reworks next patch. I think at this point I'll stop leveling up castle damage taken just because it's leveling up a bit too much. You don't want your castle damage taken to be like level 1 because it's not going to give you any damage reduction. We also don't want it to be like level 20, so it's going to be hard to cast. Gauntlets, maybe a shield, I don't know. Alright, we got that. We're gonna continue on. Oh, I should have probably grabbed my skill point. Oops, it easy. I might try a little bit different pathing and do Yugle as soon as I get to Lunaris, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's optimal, but you can just do it whenever you want, really. You can come back later. I think it might be better if I just do it quickly. I mean, technically it was slower for me to talk to Clarissa there, but I wanted all the currency from all the items in my stash tab. What would be the highest on PoE Ninja? I think we'll have a pretty well-rounded league, to be honest. I think the highest for the first couple days will probably be minor, like, you know, that's just usually what it is the first couple days. Maybe not the highest, but it'll definitely be up there. Anything that Mathel or Zizaran plays will probably be pretty high. Even if Orbistorms goes untouched, I don't think we're going to see many people play that. I think Tectonic Slam's going to be good. I think Tectonic Slam's going to be really, really good. You can go Tectonic Slam and use like Rallying Cry, or not Rallying Cry, Enduring Cry, I think, and get endurance charges that way. One of the main issues with Tectonic Slam is that it just chews through your endurance charges just too quickly sometimes, and then just is so lackluster. But if it generates endurance charges based on the power of nearby enemies rather than the number of nearby enemies, I mean, even if it just, you know, gets a buff in that way, then it still should just be good to use, I think. Because it uses your endurance charges every third attack, if I'm not mistaken now, instead of like randomly. So sometimes you just get shafted. But I think there won't be many Orbistorms builds, just because most people don't like playing it and it's fairly weak. Most people just don't know about it. That's 108 life on a pair of boots. Like, just because there's 1,000 people here, right, and they all know about Orbistorms, and I know about Orbistorms, doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's gonna want to play a build that falls off pretty hard, you know. I don't like the shield. It's taking up too much space in my inventory, and stats aren't good enough. Boop, boop, boop. Could pick up the Shadow Exodus. Yeah, it's like one charge every 3 casts. This Anger's a really good Anger, because it's a high tier Anger. Okay. Oop. I'm gonna make Oost do damage? Yeah. Probably just not doing the 1 craft. 1 craft to level 8, 2 1 crafts to level 20. Like, I'm used to it because it's what I've practiced racing, but if you're not a virgin like me, you're probably just better off playing a different build, in all honesty. That's why I don't think it'll be rank 1, or even close. It might be used a lot for like the first 2 hours, but we'll see a lot of diversity after that. I don't think ED Contagion's gonna be the highest though. I think we might see a lot of brands, we might see a lot of like the new skills, probably gonna see a lot of slam, but because there's not like one slam that seems like more powerful than the rest, we're not gonna have a repeat of Legion, I don't think, where everybody just, you know, congregates to one skill after a couple days. I think we might see a bit of diversity. Which two-handed builds, if not changed, are best for starting? Like Ground Slam into Sunder, into whatever else you want to play. Probably Earthquake at some point, but I'd probably just keep Sunder. That's just because I don't like Earthquake really, but maybe I'm doing it wrong. You could use whichever one you want. Like Earthquake felt fine, but it was just like Sunder's just immediate feedback on damage. You know if you one-shot the pack or if you need to attack it twice or not. Like, I just can't be asked to level two-handed because it's not like you need the damage from being two-handed, and I mean, when you look at the passive tree, you would respec like 3 points, and that's it. That's all you would take. You would take these two-handed nodes instead of those one-handed nodes. That's it. That's the only thing that would change from this tree and the other one. You would just use different skills. And you could really just kind of like choose your own playstyle and play whatever you want. You just have to accept the fact that it'll be slower. Oh, which two builds? I don't know. The best build is the one you want to play, so. Boop. 100 heart putting in work, dude. It's kind of sick. I think I'm gonna go do Yugle now. That just seems efficient. Yeah, you could just choose a generic two-handed build and any skill you want, really, and just see what you like. You're not saying what you play, they'll just nerf it. I mean, even if you don't say what you want to play, you're still probably gonna nerf 5 other builds that you wanted to play. Like, as a racer, that races on League site, I have to keep a build arsenal in mind. Sorry, I have to keep like a number of builds that I want to play, basically. Like, I have to be like, alright, these are the 5 builds I would play. As far as what those 5 builds are, I don't know. Depends on my objective. My objective could change based on, like, you know, the league, based on balancing. There's so many things I could change from now to patch notes that I just have to keep like a very large list of builds. Basically anything on my YouTube isn't necessarily safe, but it's an option that I could play. So we got the trial, that's good. Now we'll go kill Yugle. Will Herald build be killed? Most likely, yes. I don't think we're gonna see like what we had this league, where it's like, oh, they're nerfing Herald build, even though they said they wouldn't. And then it was like, oh, it's actually fine. Yeah, no, it's still the best broken build in the game, you know. But it obviously wasn't as insane as when I first started. Sorry, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Even though I took a nap, it's just kind of like natural for me to do that. But yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna make it like, oh yeah, no, it's fine still. You know, you could still use it if you want. I think they're straight up gonna murder that thing. It's family. Oop. I'm playing with the same stacked group as Delirium. I'm not playing with MP's group. They asked me if I wanted to join again, and I was like, no, I think Dampen wants to join. And they're like, yeah, but do you want to join? I think I'm just pretty shit in group play. I get kind of quiet, and I don't know. It feels restricting. If I want to like just go screw around and just do something else for a while and work on PUB, I feel like I'm fine doing that. If I'm inefficient on my own time, it's like fine. If I'm inefficient and it's on somebody else's time, I feel awful. It's like if you play MMOs and stuff, like if you want to take 20 days to get to level 10, regardless of what game you're playing, there's nobody stopping you from doing that. But if you want to take 20 days to clear a dungeon, you are now prohibiting the people that are in your group from clearing it quickly, and you are a direct hindrance to them. That's kind of what it feels like for me. Like if I'm slow on Atlas, it's whatever. But if I'm slow on an Atlas in a group, I just feel miserable. Obviously the idea is just don't be slow, right? But it's a bit easier said than done. I'll go down and do one of these. That's actually a really good pair of gloves. Those are nice as well, but I think I like these ones more. Wanderlust. Can I try the passive tree? Sure, but you could just check my profile. I'm gonna go ahead and take just any of these really. Take a book of skill. I can take the book of skill. Oh, or not. Stop. Mate. Let's see, anything good? Not that I can see. That's a pretty nice ring. It's got a lot of resist on it. Open prefix. I'll just use that. Seems good. I got that skill point. I got this skill point. It's gonna pick up pretty much just this node. Path of the Warriors, the node I was talking about. So my life goes from pretty much sub 2k to 2.2k. Dude's pulling god numbers. And people are just, you know, they like to learn how to level. Usually on league start I pop off, or right before league start, people are just interested in how to level and they want to ask questions live, right? I try to commentate as I go. It slows me down, I would say, but I think it's better to be like a few minutes slower and explain my thought process than it is to go super fast, no mic, no cam. That's at least my opinion. I prefer doing commentary some days, and other days I just want to no mic, no cam, and just do like 3 different runs. I don't know. I wish I had a bit more stacks for this, but that's fine. Switch to blood stance, and we're just gonna stack up beforehand. Pop our. Oh my god, she got one-shotted. Alrighty then. She got one-shotted too. What the f? Melee's OP, dude. She got deleted. I play melee all the time, dude. Pretty sick. You have to be a little careful though, because I am taking 10% more damage, physically. Anytime Solaris throws her spear, you just want to stand behind her. Oop. Just because you'll avoid getting taken damage. I keep leveling up cast when damage taken. I think it's okay. I guess it's only level 6, that's fine. Yeah, melee builds are pretty sick for bosses. And now we've arrived in Blood Aqueducts. We're not going to farm BA for the... Again, you want to be like level 54, 55. I'm 56 here, which is a bit over what I want to be, but I also have everything in the game done. I think it's okay. You know, you could come here a little bit later, I guess, if you wanted to farm Chamber Instance a bit more. If you wanted to be a bit stronger, you could like reset Southern Forest. I think things like that are kind of weird, so... But yeah, 54 to 56, perfectly fine. Again, we're not farming Blood Aqueducts for humilities, we're not farming for Tabula. We're not even really farming for that much currency. We're farming for gear and we're farming for XP. We want to hit about 62 and then we'll go ahead and leave Blood Aqueducts. Around that time we should have some decent currency, some decent gear. You can see my resists. I want all these to be parentheses of 105%. I think the most upsetting thing that I ever see on Reddit is like, wow, don't you guys just hate it when you kill A10 Kitava and then you've got negative resistances, and it's like, were you just barely positive at that point, or what happened? Like, basically, we're doing this so that we can cap out our resists is the main goal. And so I have to see how I can do that, how I get more life on my gear. Because even though I have almost 2.4k life, I'm melee, right? So I'm going to take quite a bit more damage than other builds. And on top of that, I also, I should have a lot more life, right? Because I'm taking the Scion life wheel. And so because of that, I just want a lot more life. I'm probably going to path over to the duelist area next, if I were to take a guess on where I should go next. I don't really know what an endgame tree like this would look like. You could go up and grab the minion damage, just for yourself. Get the name of it, Spiritual Aid. I think it's more of like a gladiator node though. Arcanists are really, really good. You want to take these whenever you can. You want to be careful of the Explodey boys. I want to like hover around for a tiny bit. Heroic Shot's one of the most broken div cards in the game. We're just gonna pick that up. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, Heroic Shot, I don't even know why this div card exists. It gives 17 chromatics, it's just insane for early league. Like when you get it like super early, it feels really good. And it's not that uncommon, I think I get it every other run or so. Any changes between this run on Delirium versus just on normal? Well, I'm doing this on Delirium, but I haven't popped Delirium at all because I don't know how reliable the next league mechanic will be. And the idea is that you could follow this in future leagues as well if you wanted to. So I don't want to be like, hey guys, you know, just have like 6 alterations by the time you get to Act 2 because you drop 20 different rare items by then. That's kind of unfair. You know, if I'm like, oh, just drop Wanderlust because, you know, you did Delirium early on, you got unique items in Act 1. That's kind of unfair as well. Wanderlust wouldn't be that big. I don't even know what would be that humongous, but, you know, it was like, oh, just, you know, I have 20 essences at this point. You can have 20 essences here. That's not really reasonable, in my opinion, so. I think what I'm going to upgrade first is probably going to be the leather belt. I'm going to take a leather belt either from the ground or from town. I kind of like that one, but again, it's got too much fire res, I think. I guess I really only have fire res or belts, don't I? Does that have open prefix or open suffix? If it does, it's really good. Yeah, I did cast an damage taken again. It's just a mistake. Normal league, what level should you farm to BA? 62. I know transfiguration of body, you can anoint whatever you want. Have they said anything about Warcry functionality being changed? Basically, the way that it works is that there's going to be a keystone next patch where you can only use one Warcry, but it will be instant, and it's in a better spot on the tree in my opinion. It's only going to cost 1 point. I don't think it has the cooldown recovery on it, so Berserker's looking pretty juicy for that one. But yeah, it should be pretty good. I think with how strong Warcries will be, it'll just be important to take. I think a lot of builds will want Warcries in their build, and I think they made it a keystone specifically because a lot of builds are going to want a Warcry in their build, and so having it anointable is kind of broken. It's just my opinion on the situation. You drop about 15 chaos before BA on a test run. I'd say that's pretty uncommon. I don't think I've ever really dropped that much chaos before. I have had runs where I've dropped like 6 before. Okay. Warcries are no longer sharing cooldowns. Yeah, then you might be using different stuff then. I'm not really sure. Boop, we can go ahead and go back. I might take a leather belt just to see if I can get a pretty sick one. I don't know, I might just replace... What would I replace here? Probably the helmet. Well... I don't know, we're in a weird spot. I can craft resist on these gloves though. So these gloves will be a nice improvement. I'll go ahead and just jeweler them really quick. Perfect. Pray that I'll one day stream in 1080p. Unfortunately, not only can I not stream in 1080p, but some viewers can't stream in 1080p. I guess you could downscale it, but the option isn't always there. I do Chaos Recipe on League Start. I actually recommend doing Chaos Recipe on League Start. However, I make more money just by selling red tier maps and selling, like, you know, getting to like Awaken and 8 super quickly. I think it'd be worth doing it for like an hour or two. But I really just like killing monsters fast. I don't like doing a whole bunch of inventory stuff. Even though most of my inventory management is like, you know, speedrunner stuff, I really just, you know, would prefer not to do all that hassle. I think the goal of the game is to play the game you want to play, right? Not like, if you treat the game like a job, you'll get, you know, the currency in game like it's a job, but for me that's not that much fun. I want to play the game the way I want to play it. See, like that helmet's pretty sick. I'll use that helmet in endgame then. 79 life, dual res, pretty good. Also doesn't have fire res, which is sick. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and try to get 3 red, 1 green on that or something like that. I've got the heroic shot, so even if I fail the first 2 times, I've got 17 more, so... If I had a good siege X, I would equip it. Where to go, where to go, where to go? I might just get more armor, more life, I think. I could probably just do... might do this. Let's go ahead and do that, I guess. Let me go ahead and grab my jewelers, my fusings. Let me just 4-socket this really quick. Oh, or not. Alright, that's unfortunate. Let me go ahead and use these gloves then. There we go. Now we'll try to go for 3 red, 1 green. Boop. Pop, 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 pop. There we go. 3 red, 1 green is what I'm going for. Perfect. I'm gonna swap these out. And I don't think I want this blue socket here. I think I want a green socket though. I think I want 2 red and 1 green. Why is it impossible, dude? Luckily I have heroic shot to just break the run, I guess. Cool. Oh no, I don't have enough dexterity now to use Split Ridge because that gave me 8 dexterity. Whatever. I can go to sell both of these items now. Let's see if I can get dexterity on a point. Yeah, I can. Gonna fund just 1 little point so I can equip Blood Rage. Check our resists. We're pretty damn close to our 105% resists. We're pretty close to 62 as well. At the notes next to Duelist Life really good. Yeah, I might go there next. Again, I don't want to take my chances at this point, to be honest, with the freeze, you know, leap slam thing. I think most of the time if I open a rare strongbox and it's freeze, I'm probably gonna die. Check this out, chat, check this out. Are you proud of me? I didn't level it up this time. Good morning, Grizzly. I mean, it's 1 o'clock in the morning for me, but I assume it's morning for you. Is this an EU friendly stream, by the way? It's been a while since I've done one of these. I don't really know. I could probably... Oh no, I can't replace this belt. I can for now. But the reason why I can replace this belt is because even if I don't have 105% resist in the parentheses, I'll still have over 76% resist without the penalty. So for now I can just equip the better item, I suppose you could say. And I'll probably just end up selling that, I think. I don't think it's very good. What to do with my essences though? We're in a weird spot. Honestly, I could just take most of them and throw them at jewelry. The helmet, for example, or the amulet, for example, could be much better. That ring's not going to be much better. This ring is okay. It's got some life, it's got some resist. But really, I kind of want to use that one. Got some pretty insane jewelry for this run. I think I'm going to pick up a leather belt and use these couple angel essences on them, even though I have one already. This could just be much better. That is pretty awful. That is the opposite of better. And I think I'm going to take a dexterity amulet. Strength, dexterity, int, dexterity. And we're just going to throw random essences that aren't very good. So like this one, that's pretty bad. And like this one, that's also pretty bad. Got one more here. Nope, that's not gonna work. Alright, then I'll just wait till next time, I guess. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. So a good starter build for Berserker. Yep, that's the point. Is that we do league start percent, and then it's just good for league start. Usually clear the first 2 acts in 2 hours. I mean, that's fine. You just play the game whatever pace you want to play. I'm a virgin, degenerate, weeb, nerd that practices the campaign all the time, so you shouldn't try to compare yourself to me. You can, however, take these runs and learn from them and, you know, improve on your own times. I always say, don't compare your times to speedrunner times, compare your times to your times, because you'll just end up getting upset. I think too many people are like, alright, well, I'll just, you know, get as good of time as Tight Killer. I just watched a run of his, or, you know, even like Zizarin has some pretty hard times to beat, I would say. So you're like, alright, well, you know, I could at least beat Zizarin, and then you try it and you're like, holy shit, how's Zizarin so fast? It's just upsetting, you know, and then you want to quit after, you know, trying a few times and you just can't do it no matter what you do. But really, you should just be, you know, wow, I used to do the campaign in like 12 hours, but now I can do it in 8, you know. What ability do I have on R that is called Punishment? I don't like, you know, what I get every Friday night, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, it's Friday night right now. Hey, Austin. Yo, Jared, you there? Dave? John? Calling out to my roommates. Yeah, just after this. Alright, nice. IGN needs 40 hours for the campaign? I mean, that's a little slow. You're a virgin, but your son isn't. Damn. Chance, or we're bleeding. I don't have bleed immunity yet, so I'm kind of just gonna lose health from that. You have 7 roommates? Dude, it's NA college, dude. What do you expect? It's like, you know, when you live alone as like a college student, you can't really buy anything. You can like afford maybe maybe you can afford your rent and stuff, but if you come together and you have like 3 different roommates, then maybe you can like afford rent and you can buy a couch. Where do I go to school? I go to the school of Path of Exile. I actually take university classes at the moment with the PUE University that Zizarin's been offering, so it's been a really nice summer school so far, I would say. Kind of weird that I get my degree after only a few days, but that year's pretty cool. How high are my student loans? I actually have a full ride scholarship for education because of my GPA from high school, and I've been maintaining it for the last 3 years, so I don't plan on that changing. It might change on my last semester, but I'll probably just be on probation by then. Yoink, come on now. Joint, own a couch. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't use the couch. I just use the couch when I'm... Never mind. La-da, look at the high roller with this couch. Yep.
Alchemy.
See if the Siege X is any good. Got a lot of alchemies. I don't like that. I could fizz recipe on that, I guess. Fizz recipe is kind of nice. Have I ever considered ditching college for full-time Twitch? Fuck no. I stream when I want. I play the games that I want. Mostly Path of Exile, but you know, I do what I want. If I wanted to go like as hard as possible, I would have to change so much. It would almost become like unenjoyable at that point. Streaming for me is I just play the game, I talk with the boys, I have a good time. I don't want it to be like, you know, a ladder I have to climb. The viewer count goes up, but I think that just so long as I'm enjoyable to watch, then that'll just happen naturally, right? There's some place where you can get my loot filters. Yep, exclamation mark filters. Streamed other games? Rarely in the past. Usually they don't stick very long. And that place down on my melee filter. Yep, same place as all my other filters, homie. Let's go and look for an amulet. I'm looking for a dex amulet. Not a single one here is the one that I've described. I kind of hold on to that. I'm gonna just destroy this. Alright. PvE streamers don't stream other games. There was a big time where PvE streamers streamed Terraria, and I considered doing it, but I've already played Terraria so much. I don't know if I'd stream it solo. It just sounds unenjoyable. I was playing the Zizbo League, and then when Master Mode came out, that whole update, I pretty much stopped streaming for a few days, just so I could play that with friends. And when we played through the game, we were like, alright, cool. Okay, viewer Randy, yep. What is accounting? Yep. Do I play League? Yeah. I used to play a lot of League. I mean, I still kind of watch sometimes, just because it's kind of entertaining. I like Malice a lot. I kind of just hover like D2 and I kind of just maintain that. I think you'd have to be a psychopath to play a game of League of Legends and then decide to queue up again without taking a 1 month break in between every game. I think you would seriously have to have some sort of mental deficiency to do that. Where can you get my filters? Exclamation mark filters. I come up with the tacticular name. Basically I just was making a World of Warcraft character and I was tired of using the random name generator. So I was like, oh, I'll just call myself Tai Tai, because that's what people call me. Cool. And then Tai Tai was taken because there's, you know, thousands of players that play on a server, and I was like, what? No way, dude. How was that taken? This is a totally unique name that nobody else would ever use. So I just sat there for like 3 hours, which is kind of a big deal because I was like, you know, 8 years old, 8 years old. And I just sat there at the name creation screen. I just thought of like what to call myself. I was like, what would make Tai Tai sound really cool? So I decided to add Tai Killer, dude. And I didn't really care for the name very much, but I played League in high school a lot. I played League for high school and I played League for university. And high school was kind of a meme that like a lot of people in high school played League. So, you know, I wanted to get Diamond and I did that. Well, first I wanted to get Gold and then I did that. Because I got placed on the... I didn't get placed on the A team in the high school team, alright? I didn't get placed on the B team. I didn't even get placed on the C team. I got placed on the fucking D team, dude. And I was like, this sucks, dude. Everybody in the A team is like gold or, you know, barely platinum. Alright, we're 62 here. I might do one more run, though. I was like, this sucks. So I got gold. And then I started hanging out with, like, you know, juniors and seniors. And that's one of the big reasons why I played League a lot. It was just, you know, it's just something social that a lot of other people did. So I liked climbing ranked. I liked having fun. I've liked playing with people in high school. That's where I got my start in League, and then people would just call me Tai Tai Killer because I was just the Mordekaiser player, and then I was the Kha'Zix player, and people just knew me. Why is it called Tai Tai in the first place? Just cause they knew that I'd be Tai Tai Killer, dude. Newbie Destin. Nah, it doesn't have anything to do with like killing Tai Tais or like beating Tai 23. I just seriously thought that by adding Killer to the end of my name, I just became like immediately a lot cooler. Thanks Ballistica for the sub. I appreciate that. You know, I genuinely just thought it was just like, whoa, that's badass, dude. That's badass. I Tai Tai. I can answer that question. High school's changed a lot in the last 20 years. Well, I mean, you still have like the nerds who play nerdy games, right? Like it's not like a whole bunch of super popular kids are gonna be playing Dungeons and Dragons and shit like that. But there's still like a lot of people play video games now. Like the meta is to play video games. A lot of people will play things like Fortnite or FIFA and stuff like that, but people generally are like okay with you talking about like video games. Talking about like AP ratios on different champions is still kind of weird, and I'm still kind of upset that one time I was talking with a girl in high school and I liked her and she liked me, and this one dude, one of my friends, came up to me to ask about the AP ratios of Annie and what he thinks the implications of the changes of the patch notes will be. And I was like, dude, I need you to fuck off, like right now. I'm not having it. But generally speaking, you know, a lot of people play video games, and you know, talking about video games isn't that weird. There's lots of people who play like the most popular games, so things like League of Legends and stuff. You know, you can make some friends just playing popular video games and talking with other people. Generally, people are pretty passionate about things that they enjoy, and so they want to share that with other people. I joined university I joined the League of Legends team for university, and I was like, alright, if I'm gonna join the university team, it's gonna be like super try hard. And I checked the league roster like freshman year, and I was like, dude, everybody here's like gold. I don't want to play with everybody who's gold. I want to be honest. I kind of want to win university. Run into corruption, cool. And I was like, alright, maybe maybe I could just hard carry every game. And then I was like, nope, I'm shit. I can't carry shit. I'm not good enough for this. Somebody else take the wheel. Because I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. It's impossible. It's doomed. There are like some minor disagreements between some of the team members as well. Imagine not being challenger. Ruiner, you tell me that League sucks and that I should not play that game every day. Such a sim move to not talk games in front of a girl. I mean, normally I'll just mention that I play games. My last girlfriend said that when I said that I played games, she thought it was like, oh yeah, you know, I play video games in my free time, you know, just every now and again. She said that she didn't know she was signing up for someone who was just playing video games like 12 hours a day and was like perfectly okay with it. That's a pretty good Reaver X actually. I don't know if that'll be better than this. Oh, it is better than that. 2700, 2900. I think it's about the same. Oh, it has open prefix, so this is actually really sick. So I can show you guys what I can do here. I might take this off. I might wait for the Fizzcraft coming up though to go in and craft on it. So it's an upgrade regardless, but what I can actually do is I can get the Fizzcraft in an upcoming zone and use that instead. Here we're gonna go kill Shakira though. I tried the Amazon MMO coming up. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what the Amazon MMO is. I don't know. Yes, hello Sandy. Yes, this is Tai Tai. Am I intentionally not activating banner? No, I just have brain damage. That's it. There's no reason to not activate it on like magic packs and stuff. Sometimes I just feel like I don't need it, but you know, that's just me being slow. Nemos named New World from Amazon. See, when you say Amazon, I think of like Diablo Amazon. I played D2 recently, actually. I played D2 and I was like, thank you, Malik, for the 6-month sub. Or 6-year sub, and you had to say
6-year anniversary.
Yep, that's right. I'm gonna take you for a nice candlelit dinner tonight. Thanks for all the work in the Discord, but if you keep the level of respect for me at a minimum, don't take every word I say as gospel. But thank you for all your work in Discord. I appreciate it. But yeah, I played Diablo 2 recently because my friend was hyping up the D2 like remake that, you know, should be coming out eventually. And I was like, yo, what if I just practice like Act 1, just like, you know, once, just to get into it. So I loaded up a Mr. Llama video. And I was like, cool, I'll just sit down for an hour and play a little bit of D2. Seems like a fun time. I sat down for 15 hours straight and I killed Nightmare Bale. And I loved every second of it, I'm gonna be honest. And so now whenever I think of like Diablo 4, I'm like, man, I hope we get the Amazon. Or I think of the D2 remake and I'm like, man, I can't wait to play Amazon. So anytime I hear the word Amazon, that's what I think of now. It's gonna cheap you out. Yeah, it's pretty good. Nice. Crucible, and it was dog shit. Bow or spear? Spear, of course. Why would I not go Javazon? Yeah, let me just have one of the best mobbing abilities in the entire game, and then also have literally the best single target in the entire game. Explosive arrow can't even compete. Cheer 5000. Thank you, dude. How much do I play games off stream? Recently, I've been playing a lot of MapleStory version 62 with some friends. I play that a lot off stream when I'm not doing grunts and stuff. That's pretty much it though. If I'm not doing that, I'm working. Don't tell my job, but sometimes I'll just sit in a group and I'll do like a party quest and I'll be like, hang on, I'll be right back, you guys. And I'll just go do work or something, or I'll like make food, stuff like that. Is that MMO still in beta or something? I'll check out the new Amazon MMO after this. What did you say the name of it was again? Jeff Bezos video game. I don't know, I have a family member that works for Amazon, and he's kind of somewhat of a gamer himself. He's a programmer, and he said that the environment there is very much like, you know, tech savvy and pretty progressive policies and stuff, so I haven't heard him say anything about an Amazon MMO. New World. Alright, I'll check it out after. I think I heard something about it a long time ago, but I just kind of disregarded it and was like, oh, what a meme, dude. I'll look at a video after this, so not in the middle of the run. I still gotta finish the run for YouTube. Even though I've kind of given up on commentary, I can just kind of talk about stuff. Basically, we farmed Blood Aqueducts till 62. You can do an extra run if you want. I decided to do it because it's kind of fun to get in the groove of things. BA is pretty fun to farm. Humility has a sound in my filter, so that's kind of nice. We just kind of continue along, trying to get our resist up. Holy shit, my fire resist is really high, actually. And we continue on to the Vistiri Desert. We find the little bottled faith or whatever. Not bottled faith, bottled storm. There we go. Somebody yelled at me for that the other day. So we get the bottled storm. Then we go help kill Shakira. Then we just continue on. The reason why I don't grab the skill point is there's nothing that's like imperative to grab at the moment. And on top of that, if we wait to grab the skill point until later, we can grab 2 skill points at one instead of just grabbing one at a time. T1 map, indeed. People say that the new Amazon MMOs sucked who got early access. I don't know, I don't like reviews very much. I think reviews of games kind of suck ass more recently. I think that the people who make reviews are different than what I am, right? Like, have you ever watched a movie and you went into it like, man, all the reviews for this said it was shit. I really don't want to watch this movie. And then you walk away and you're like, oh, that was a really good movie. Or like, you know, you look at reviews and you're like, whoa, I wasn't gonna watch this movie, but after seeing the reviews, holy shit, dude, I guess I have to watch this movie or, you know, I'm gonna get smited on the spot for, you know, not watching it because it's just that good. You watch it and you're like, that's kind of dog shit, to be honest. Kind of wish I didn't watch that. Alright, now I can do the fizz recipe. Actually, I don't think I have the chaos orbs for this, now that I think about it. I only have 1 chaos orb, I'm imagining. Yeah, now let's see. Physical damage. I think I can get flat physical damage. It's only 2 alchemies, that's fine. Let's see that my damage will go up from 2800 to 3.1k. So that's pretty good. I'll hold on to the siege axe just for later. Why is that? Just gonna destroy that. Yep. It's almost like reviewers are paid for positive opinions. Yeah. Oop. Oh, was this really not an Attack of that movie? No wonder it felt so weird the whole time. Whoops, don't do that. Expectations, yeah. Here we're gonna go ahead and do the skill point. Let's see, where am I going on tree now? I don't really know. I could probably take that point, refund those 2. I think that'd probably be better, in all honesty. Also, it'd look a lot better in the next skill tree, because the next batch, that's just what I would do. I'd take the pathing down there. What else could I get? I can get fortified nodes if I want. I got all the silent life wheel. I think I'm gonna go for duelist though. Boop. That's gonna do this. I'll take this point. And I can refund these 2. Now I've got an extra point. Haha, the power. Boop. Noob. Yep, you're right. Rookie mistake. Try Raid Shadow Legends. It's really good. Were you sponsored to type that in chat? Wow, I'm impressed, dude. Ain't nothing like a shameless promotion, am I right? Let me go ahead and not log it to login screen. Now I'm in queue. Usually at this point in the league, I'm not in queue for very long, but you know, we can just go ahead and grab all skill points. Boop, boop. That's pretty nice. More fire res though. Might test the new brands. I will when I get the new patch, but I won't play them initially. Like, I'm not gonna league start as them, but I'll test a lot of the new skills out. I like to just kind of wait for videos to come out, so like, you know, Math will play a build. Oh, this is pretty sick. So like, Math will play a build, for example, and I'll be like, yo, that build looks really cool. Let me see how I can do that, like, on a league start with, like, no gear, and see if I can do that for racing. I like doing stuff like that. Usually there's a lot of buzz in the racing community where it's like, oh, this skill's pretty cool. More recently, it was like the Chaos Slinger build, where it's like, Camel told me about, using like Spell Singer with Soul Rend and ED Contagion. And I was like, alright, sure, why not? And I tried, and then Carve improves the build, and then I improve the build, and then mostly it's Carve improving the build, but I take credit for it. And then Ventura plays the build, and he improves on it, and it's just, just this like, you know, whole thing that we just come together and improve, I guess. So that's been really cool recently. There's lots of stuff like that that kind of happens where like Orbistorms, or like for the Storm brand meta, for example, there was a guy called Goliath. I mean, he's still alive, obviously, it's just he doesn't speedrun very much anymore. And he figured out that if you put chain on Stormbrand, the clear is just insane. And it was just like he just did this one support gem on a skill, which shouldn't have been that hard, but it just made the build so much better for racing. It's stuff like that that are really cool to see. So yeah, I won't be playing brands at the start. Has Toxic Ring, Caustic Arrow Nova been popping off recently? Yes, it has, but part of that's due to how well it performs with Delirium, to be honest. I think Gucci probably would have won the duo race today if he didn't die early. But I mean, I think they just forgot to salvage it. So what they could have done is Gucci died before Pac kills Brutus. What Pac could have done is portaled out on Brutus, given Gucci the submerged waypoint, so Gucci runs through mudflats and stuff, and then he waits for Gucci, and then he takes Gucci as soon as he gets the submerged waypoint and TPs him straight to Brutus, and then that way he gets Brutus done and he just farms ledge. That would be a perfectly acceptable thing to do, but instead Gucci had to like run solo for a while. Imagine a robot finding all the OP builds. Havoc and I have talked about that a lot. Or like if we could design an AI that just does like 5,000 runs, that would be really cool. One of the biggest issues with speedrunning builds is that sometimes they feel bad early on. So I remember I was in Octavian's chat and somebody told me about Orbistorms being really good before Orbistorms was even used in a race. And I was like, nah, you're full of it. Because I was like, okay, let me go try it. I used it at level 4. I placed Orbistorms and it took like 20 seconds to kill a mob. And I was like, okay, you're hard trolling with this Orbistorm shit. Get this out of my game. Alright, what's the next build? I'm going back to mines. I think I was just like hard spamming arc mines at that point. And I was like, yeah, no, you're trolling if you're not playing mines. Orbistorms is just awful. Why would you play that? And what do you know? A couple months later, it would turn out that Orbistorms is the most broken skill. But that's just because I didn't get it past like level 4 and I didn't use like Stormblast Mine with it, you know? It's just like these things that like compound on each other, where like, you know, something will like fly under the radar because maybe a skill's like really good at level 16 but it sucks at level 1, or you know, maybe a skill's like really good once you get to like level 55 for whatever reason, but until that point it's pretty bad. There's like lots of stuff like that, I imagine. Didn't they massively buff Oos? Yeah, but I'm talking like post Oos buff, where I was like, you know, yeah, it looks at me kind of funny. And I tried it out in Ledge and I was like, this is literally just the worst gem in the world. I don't know why any human being on this earth would use this gem. Kinda cool I can take that though. Screaming again. Damn. Always screaming, dude. Never lucky. Keep killing all magic bugs. There's not too much to talk about. If you don't want to tank the Dodgery Scream, you could just stand behind one of the pillars and you can't take damage from that. Chevron is pretty easy, just keep your lightning res capped. These Blade Vortexes are kind of scary. It's probably the scariest thing about this fight. It's just the walk to it, I guess, can get a little terrifying. Other than that though, it just kind of phases out. Not too big of a deal. Boop. Pop, pop, pop. Caustic Arrow won't be good in the new league. It'll still be really good. It's just that it got kind of hard carried by how good it was with Delirium, I think, in terms of racing. If you want to play it as a league starter though, you're more than welcome to, because it'll still be good for that. I think I was going to this node, Art of the Gladiator. What do I get after that? I don't really know. Get Fortify, get Armor. Not sure. Got a lot of choices here, I guess. Alright, so the scariest part of this fight's coming up in a second. It's not actually Dojo yourself, it's the Scorpions. These Scorpions are pretty terrifying, I would say. Oop. Oh, I'm dying. Yeah, these Scorpions are scary. I'm I'm dying, dude. What? Where'd she go? Hey, why'd she jump there and then end up on the other side of the arena? What's up with that? Care to explain, Chris Olsen? I thought not. They were just TP out. When Just, how you doing? I think about Ignite Chieftain. I don't really like Ignite builds, to be honest, unless it's like a Ignite Fireball Trickster, but I kind of struggled on single target with that build. The clear was really, really good. I might just use a 6-link fire trap setup if I were to play that build again. That build was actually a lot of fun. I just wish it didn't suck on single target. Here you don't have to talk to Bannon. I spec out of RT eventually on this. Like I said earlier, you can go the new amulet that makes it so you don't do crit damage, but instead you have like 5 times the crit chance. You can use that, take off RT, and go blitz charges if you want. You just have to get a lot of accuracy. Other than that, I would say not really. There's no reason to go crit unless you were going blitz charges specifically. I think you're going Toxic Rain and Caustic because of the plants. I see. They're just trying to fit the theme. Makes sense. To be honest, Toxic Rain sounds pretty good. Toxic Rain Mines, self-cast Toxic Rain should be perfectly okay. I actually feel pretty tanky, so I feel like I can take on Valente here. Ascensi nodes that I take in what order? I took the War Cries, then I took Aspect of Carnage. Next, I think I'll take the Life Leech, but I'm not really sure. This is kind of where Berserker feels a little weird, where like I could go the Rage node. I think what I would end up doing ultimately is probably taking this Life Leech and Mana Leech node and the attack speed if I've been hit recently. I'd probably take that, and then I would probably take I would probably unspec out of that for Uber Lab or Carnage Heart, whichever one you want. And then you could, oh no, I don't need to do that. And then you could take both rage nodes, but I think it's just too much attack speed, to be honest. It's scared too uncontrollable. There, I placed the portal in the middle of the Ravage Square so that I can go to Valenta without having to backtrack through the middle of this zone at all. It just makes it more convenient. Well, my castle demonstration is actually too low level to activate my my Molten Shell now. Whoops, that's a mistake. Oh dear, I have to self-cast Molten Shell, I guess. It only lasts for 3 seconds, so it's not huge, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of important. Take with this build up through maps. Yep. Seems kind of slow. That's just melee. I mean, it seems kind of slow, but it's still going to be like a sub 3 hour and 40 minute A10 Kitava, right? That's a pretty nice X. Alright. I might use that instead of this. I'm not sure though. Ooh. Is that a percent physical? It's a little weird. Just go attack speed on that, I guess. Can't really get flat. I don't know if it's better or not. How we doing, Scar? How we doing? Oop. So here I just want to be careful. Whoa. If I were said to stand in the middle and then leap slam to wherever they're coming from. Alright, my reaction time's too slow for this, I guess. Also, I feel uncomfortable leap slamming into the middle of it. I think it's fine if you use Flame Dash, but I don't think it was meant for leap slam, to be honest. Like, that's my fatal error here. Ow, I'm dying. I'm actually dying, dude. Let's hope I don't get a gun down like I did last time, though. Oop. Ow. Want to be a little careful in this fight. It can get kind of hectic. I'm gonna pop War Banner and try to kill him. Okay, we're good. Whew. Scary. How am I? I'm doing well. Let's go ahead and just get the Sulfur Flask, I guess. That seems good. I want like freeze immunity, so something like that. Cool. Badass. Might just delete that. Nothing to give to Bannon at the moment. We're gonna go get our last trial. I'm gonna hold on to this, that. Move this stuff away. Might look for a better amulet at this point, actually. Which one of these sell the amulet again? I want to get Dervish, and then after that I would get the Marauder Life or something like that. Shit. Is it Lonnie that sells it? Yeah, it is. So I'm looking for another Dexterity amulet. Amulet that'll give me Dexterity. So none of these, I guess. Cool. There's an Onyx, but I don't think that's enough Dexterity, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just gaming. I had a nice little Lunchable earlier. Life is good. Life is good. The run seems fast, but the clear seems slow. It's just melee, dude. You know, if you want to play melee, just accept that. That's just gonna be a fact. Curse immunity would also be kind of cool. I'm pretty much always gonna pop Arcanist. I'd usually ID it. But I have the freeze immunity now, so I feel confident enough to open any strong buffs I come across. Yeah, I'd say wait till patch notes to try and decide on a starter, I would say. You haven't had coffee yet this morning. I try not to get on the loop of drinking coffee and stuff. I really like tea, but I drink tea just every now and again. Just for fun, I guess. I try not to have any like ritual of like, oh, I need this in the morning or I can't function. Not a huge fan of that. I put out a list of 3.11 starters. Yes, I will, but I'm going to wait until League start. I don't feel as confident as I did last time where I was like, oh, these builds shouldn't get touched for any reason whatsoever. You know, the only reason why these builds will get changed is if GGG was literally smoking crack. But that isn't the case, and I was like, yep, that makes sense. I agree with the changes here. Cool. I plan on doing more two-handed runs? Nope. You could just two-hand and just play your own way if you want. I'm not going to do that. Really, nothing would change. I'm going to be honest. You would change these 3 points. These 3 points, and you would just play two-hand. And just any skill. That's it. That's all you would do. This is probably a golden key, isn't it? I haven't checked Merc Lab. It is a golden key. Cool. Just know that it'll be slower, and like you can just use whatever skill gems you want, really. If that makes sense. You know, like use like Sunder, Melee Fizz, I don't know, the Onslaught. I think the thing that most people get tripped up on is like support gems, right? You just look at a skill and you're like, man, if I was playing that skill, what supports would I want on that? Well, I'm a melee build, so I'd probably want Melee Fizz. Fortify is pretty cool, so I can use Fortify. Well, I don't get that early. What else could I use? It added Fire early. Sure, let's use that instead. And stuff like that. Missed the live stream? Can't wait to watch the VOD. Nice. Oop. Gotta be a little careful here. Oop. Gonna wait on these. I'm dying. I'm gonna wait a sec. Being patient with traps is the best way to go about it, I would say. Don't want to rush into things and end up ripping. Which way am I supposed to go? Top right. Yeah, there's a dark trend here. I like stopping for dark trends if I can find them on the main path. I'll even go out of my way a tiny bit to find them, like this one. Unless this is Argus, but this should be a dark shrine, I think. Yeah, it's a dark shrine. Because it's Merc Lab, I'll go out of my way a tiny bit. Not just for the shrines, but also just, you know, for any keys, any enchant. Those things are pretty valuable. Usually I enchant boots. My boots aren't like that amazing. My helm is pretty amazing. So I'd probably use that in the endest of games. What mechanics do we have today? We have essences, which are scary, and conduits, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the essences. I'm going to go ahead and disable the conduits. Merc Lab can be kind of scary. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the mechanic. I do have the Brutal Shrine though, which means that my single target's just going to be insane. I mean, my damage is already pretty good, but I'm just going to do a tiny bit of damage. I want to get away from Azara because he's probably going to leap slam on me after a tiny bit. He usually uses movement ability after a small delay from not using his last movement ability, so he's not going to use it, he's not going to use it. But he could probably use it like now, for example. And I don't want him to be right next to the essence when he does that, unless it's on the other side of the world. Okay, now we're doing enough damage to him. There we go. Yeah, even though we could get extra keys, I like being alive. Being alive is cool. I'll do a bit of inventory management. Boop. There's a dark shrine here. If I find it, I'll just go ahead and do it, I guess. Oh no, I went the wrong way, dude. Dark shrine and a gauntlet. If the gauntlet's super fast, I might do it, but this is super easy. A lot of people overestimate how hard that little thing is to jump over there. It's really one of the most simple parts of lab, in my opinion. We have our freeze immunity up, so I can open this. See, freezes you. Strong blocks. It's going to kill the exile. Hope for some loot. Got a 6 socket. That's badass. Just go this way. I didn't find the dark shrine. It's a-okay though. Oop, top right, I guess. I've got my freeze immunity up again. Let's do it. What is that? A labyrinth trove. Not worth my time. I gotta go top right, it appears. Let's go that way then. Oop, oop. Let's see, are these any good? That's actually a lot of resist, but it's not like a 2-stone or anything like that, so it's not that useful. Enduring Cry, I could see actually using. I think Enduring Cry is pretty good. It's pretty defensive. If it's playing Hardcore, I'd definitely go Enduring Cry, I think. Holy shit, we like one-shot this guy. I didn't mean to do that much damage, dude. Alright, well, 1 conduit's down, I guess. Alright. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Top right, then top middle. What levels do I think are good for Merc Lab? I usually try to do it after or before A10 Kitava. Just because usually your Merc Lab's a pretty big power-up. If your Merc Lab doesn't really matter, you could hold on to it till later. Like on this, I don't think I really need this Merc Lab. I just think that it's a bit unfair to do Merc Lab in some runs and then not Merc Lab in other runs. We have the means to do so. I would usually do it about 63, 64, somewhere in there. But if you don't get a huge power spike from it, you could honestly just wait till you're close to Uber Lab, to be honest. There's very few cases where I end up doing that, but I think in this case you could kind of justify waiting for, you know, quite a long time. I don't think I can go there without activating the lever. I'm not going to. We should just be able to go straight across now. Should be right over here. There it is. Pretty much, doing lab just comes down to when you feel comfortable doing it, you know? If you don't feel strong enough, then you can just wait. Alright, I'm gonna stash this stuff. Stash that. Might use that. Okay. If you don't feel strong enough, then you could just wait. You shouldn't force yourself to do lab early because, you know, that's what Mr. Tie Killer said. If your character's super weak, you know? Like, if your resists aren't capped and you don't have decent like gear or armor or defensive layers in period, then you should probably just wait. Yeah, here we can just go ahead and pick up Pain Reaver, I guess. I don't really like the Rage node. Getting Blitz doesn't make sense because we're not critting at all. We never deal critical strikes, so those are Resolute Techniques. I don't like these boot enchant. I think I might replace these boots pretty quickly though, so I'll just go for this. If I had decent boots, I would definitely enchant the boots over that though, 100%. How's Leap Sim so fast without being a Glad? It's because of the interaction with Bladestorm and close combat, constantly proccing each other. Here I'm going to go ahead and stash everything. I'm going to look for in Dexterity Amulet. Oh, I guess I didn't level up, did I? Alright, well I can stash everything away. Just gonna put this stuff away. Put this stuff away. I hold on to some of the essences, I don't know. Put that away. Drop the steel skin. Hold on to Enduring Cry. I can drop these two. Might use that. Might use that. Might use that. I'll use the map soon. I guess I could have gotten my refund points, huh? But yeah, we're pretty much closing in on the very end of the run. We've got every skill point in the game. Maybe not all of them in the most efficient order possible, but pretty much as they come up. A video on this run? Yep. Going on YouTube, probably tomorrow. I don't know, I'm kind of lazy on submitting it. I might wait a couple days, to be honest. We'll have to see. I don't know what I'm doing after this. Kind of want to practice for League Start. I think Miner's been beat to death. I might do my own Miner run. We'll see. The Miner run's weird though, because my Miner run would just rely on Orbistorm, Stormblast Mine for most of the run, and I feel like that's not true to the Miner archetype, even though it's better to do it that way. Kind of like how if you wanted to play a two-handed slam skill, you could just do this, but different, you know? And it's like, well, imagine it like if one had a chance to get nerfed, which I don't think it will. But if this build had a chance to get nerfed and it was like, oh, you want to play a two-handed slam skill? Just play one-handed Bladestorm. It's like, well, no, that's not really how this works. That's not really like a slam skill, you know? Toxic Rain? Yeah, I might just do Toxic Rain, Caustic Arrow, Trickster. I could do Deadeye, but Deadeye's a little deceptive in that normal lab, you just pop off really hard and you don't get too much for Cool or Merc Lab really in a racing sense, and I don't think I'd really play it like that. Pathfinder feels a little weird as well. I think Trickster's just the better ascendancy for it overall. I tried doing some Raider memes and then it just was like, wait, why am I going Raider when I could just go Trickster? Special leveling filters per builder class. They're mostly just for, so I have 3 different archetypes for melee, ranged, and caster. I think my ranged is the least, like, oh my goodness. I think my range is like, I don't want to say the most scuffed, but it has like the least amount of, you know, super editing put into it. It's basically just like, oh, here's some extra colors that are highlighted, and you know, it's got all the currencies and stuff. I think I need Castle Devastation to level up. There we go, perfect. Alright, well this shrine is just kind of broken because I could just stand on top of this boss. I mean, I could just take my hand off the keyboard and just hold down right click the whole time if I wanted to. But that's just exclusive to this shrine being OP. I don't think I'll do a TR Mines run, but I could probably do just a Toxic Rain run. It's Raider or Real Ascendancy. I like the thematic of it, but just actually playing it is just like, why am I doing this to myself?
Twitch chat. That's all you had to
No, I'm saying BT Adium. Thank you for the sub. It's gonna take the waypoint to the other waypoint. As long as we give the staff to the dude, he's like, yo, thanks for the staff, homie. We gotta break that. I think I'll get Dervish, and then next I'd probably get these life nodes. If I'm missing a bit of cold res, I guess I could take elemental resist right here if I wanted to, but you got that shrine in Uber Lab once. That's OP, dude. I think I've seen that once, but I've done like a ton of lab farming before in the past. I like to play Poison Scourge Arrow Pathfinder. Nice. I mean, as long as you enjoy what you're playing, right? Like, I think I've played Minor like for 6 leagues total now as a league starter, and it's just, you know, one of the most solid league starters, but I wouldn't say that I enjoy it really. Oh, I accidentally leveled up Molten Shell again. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. That's a mistake. I just activate it randomly every now and again. Then we get another heroic shot, which is really, really good. Really broken divination card. I don't even know why that one was added. I mean, I think that divination card is like on par with like some of the really, really strong ones from like late game. In all honesty. I'll explain a little bit more about Toxic Rain. Hit poison versus pod dot confuses you. I think overall you should just play the dot variant, but you kind of go this weird hybrid when you're leveling where like you want like elemental damage and you want like physical damage so that the actual hit themselves and, you know, the explosions do damage, but like you also really like the duration of it to be increased so that the you know, dot itself is a little bit longer and it also is a little bit stronger. It's like in a weird spot for leveling. In late game, you pretty much just want to scale the dot exclusively, I would say. And the actual flat amount of damage on it doesn't matter at all. But yeah, it's a pretty nice build, I would say. 3 hours, what level? I am level 65 at the moment, as you can see here on my character page. There we go. Like I said, this is a league start percent run. And so the idea behind it is that this is exactly what you do on a league start. You would probably do Merc Lab, you'd probably get all the passive points, and you would kill Kitava after farming Blood Aqueducts. You know, you're not going to speedrun this at like level 47 or anything. This isn't a world record kill, but this is a kill that I would do on, you know, day 1 of a league. Now the same approach to Atlas every league, or is it different every league in its approach? It depends on your objective, really. If you want to farm XP, it's different than if you want to get Awakener 8 and farm currency, right? It's also different depending on what kind of build you're playing, where like if you are better in closed maps versus open maps. It really just kind of depends on your strategy overall. If you don't know what you're doing, you know, you could just run map fast and just kill monster fast. And that's generally the way that I like to do it. I like to go for full completion more than I like to go for a specific Atlas setup, but that hasn't stopped me before in the past. Generally though, I think Awakener 8 is a super OP way of generating a bunch of currency, so I like having Awakener 8. But order Ascendancy is Zerker for convenience. I took the War Cries and a Carnage Heart into the Leech node, but honestly the Leech node is kind of just meh, so you can take whatever you want. So I went this one, then that one, then that one. was next in the league store, continuing with axes. Basically, you would just keep going axes until you get good swords. You don't want to just spec into sword nodes and just not have a good sword, right? So you'd probably wait on having a decent like weapon, I would say. As far as what you're looking for, it kind of just depends on what build you're playing and, you know, what you want to do after that. If you even want to use swords, if you want to use two-handers at that point. Like, a lot of the game just depends on what you want to do. And, you know, no one answer can answer that. I would love to TP out for flasks, however, I would lose a bunch of rage stacks and inherently a bunch of damage, so I can't really do that. I'm gonna manually pop Molten Shell here, though. Just for the few seconds, oh my, I dropped pretty low there. Can I get resist on any of these? Alright, let's see where I can craft cold resist, because that's the only thing I'm missing. I might even craft over this chest piece, to be honest. And maybe the boots as well. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, I could also craft it on the gloves. Nice. Alright, so then cold res aren't looking too bad. So we can go ahead and stop the time. It's about 340. Let's go ahead and grab these skill points. Let's go ahead and grab this life, I think. That's probably what I grabbed. Got 3.4k life. We're gonna have capped resist here in a second. I like these gloves. I'll use an alchemy on them. And I like this chest piece. I'll go ahead and use an alchemy on this. And you can see slash played 3 hours 37 minutes. I'm gonna say it's 340 because of load screens. If I type slash passives, I have every passive in the game except for bandits, of course, because we have the Lyra. Slash deaths is 0. And because you guys like it, I'm gonna go ahead and show a map clear after this. And I can just answer any questions you have for the next few minutes. I kind of like this period because it's kind of brainless, you know. I run around and do lore for like 4 minutes or something like that. And I just gotta answer you guys' questions. So if you have questions, you can ask them now. I feel like Slaughter's just so nice. Which one's Slaughter? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what Slaughter is. Oh, this one? Crave the Slaughter? So the reason why I don't like Slaughter is even though you would gain a support gem, because I wouldn't have to use rage support, right? But if you look at rage support, I gain a pretty nice amount of flat damage if I have a certain amount of rage, you know? Like, I gain a pretty nice amount of flat damage early on. I think for Merc Lab, I'd probably take that, but like my leap slam's already super fast. Any tips for the jug version? The jug version's a lot tankier, but also slightly slower. Basically just accept the fact that you're going to be a little bit slower, but also be a lot, probably more well-rounded in endgame, I would say. I don't really know what order you take jug in, because I don't really play jug. Go Slaughter on hardcore? Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't go Carnage hard on hardcore. Taking 10% increased damage is kind of weird, because when you think of like, if you gain 10% increased damage, that's not really that much. Like if you gain 10% increased physical damage, because you have so much other increased physical damage, that doesn't really translate to much. But because we don't stack ways of increasing the damage that we take, right? It's basically like taking more damage. So you have to view it like that. So Slaughter is a little weird, or Carnage Heart, I mean, is a little strange. I'm gonna need you to stand on the other thing, homie. Thank you. I saw Heschler die to this before, and so I've been a little scared of Purek not standing on the thing before. Can you see a 4-stone Drox kill with this build? Not with this gear, you can't. Would I farm Tabula in BA? No, I would not. I would farm BA until I'm level 62 for XP, regardless of what build I'm playing for the most part. I'll just reroll that, I guess. I just have less AoE is a little weak, but what's a good race time for Act 1 completion? Just shoot for half an hour for every act, I would say. If you can get under half an hour, you're looking pretty good, I would be willing to bet. If you can't, then that's okay, and there should be a lot of room for improvement. Alright, I've got my freeze immunity up. I can go ahead and open the Diviners. That's a DD box. Boop. Yeah, I would probably play like some sort of slam build at this point. I think that the clear speed of this build is a lot slower than Gladiator, and so I would probably just transition this into a slam build. Like I said, you would just take these 3 points, unspec out of the single target, maybe unspec out of Dervish, or just not even take Dervish at this point. And yeah, that would be pretty good, I feel like. I still need casting damage taken to gain a little bit of XP. That would be nice. A closer read, pretty far away. I'll go ahead and de-level Molten Shell then. I see the DPS for Cyclone. Cyclone would suck dick at this point, so I refuse to use it. Cyclone's actually really, really bad until you're at like high-end gear. Like it wouldn't even make top 3 clear speed, like at this point. So I think this build will work as an SSF starter. I think you would probably just be better off turning this from this build over to a slam build and playing one of those with the new archetype, to be honest. And looking up for 2-handed weapons along the way. Here you can see the single target on the build. It's not too bad. Armory, cool. Oh yeah, you can see the clear speed is nothing like a gladiator would be with the bleed explosions. Really just kind of makes really high use out of the attack speed that I get, and you know, you can get some rage later on. Where can you find good builds to follow for the new season? I have a whole list of them on my YouTube that you can follow along with the POB. Unfortunately, I don't have many guides for them because I'm lazy and guides take a really long time, and I don't feel like spending 3 hours explaining something because, you know, if you take like someone who's good at something, I don't want to say the best, but if you take someone who's good at something, you know, they can probably explain something for hours on end, and I could honestly just sit there and just explain different ways of leveling builds for an entire day if I wanted to, but I, one, don't want to do that, nor do I have the time to do that, so I'm gonna pass on that one. Let's see if this essence or this metamorph is the end of my character. I don't believe it will be, but you know, we just have to be a little careful. On Molten Shell, if I had VMS, I'd be a lot safer. I think if I had a Vol Orb, I would use it on Molten Shell pretty much immediately. But yeah, that's the map clear, you guys. That's the single target and everything. That's gonna be it for today.